Are you leaving? Standing with empty hands, he asked Sengoku behind him. Staring ahead, they saw Chen Qingtian's actions these days, where he went and what he did, all of which were laid out in front of Kong Kong. I didn't do anything, I really came to travel. Everyone who comes to naval headquarters will be monitored and investigated. Marineford does not allow dangerous people to approach, the risk factor is too high. Accidents can happen in other places, but not here. Let's go, Marshal. Sengoku replied respectfully. In the past few days, he didn't do anything, just go shopping. Sengoku said again. With a wave of his hand, he knew it all. Stand above and look below. See farther and see more. Sora said, Sengoku, don't blame me, you will do the same thing as me when you sit in this position in the future. I'm doing this for the safety of naval headquarters. Not just Chen Qingtian, anyone who enters naval headquarters will be investigated. This is the practice, and no one can escape it. I know, Marshal. Sengoku understood. Garp, you go to his job, I believe he will understand me. Sora continued. His own direct subordinates can't chill their hearts. I understand. Sengoku replied. Okay, let's go down. Kong didn't say anything anymore, mainly to comfort them. Being in a high position, you have to do this. Many things are for safety considerations. He also has a touch of humanity, and he will not let his subordinates work for nothing. Hey, old man. Kong sighed, and it's better to leave, so as not to cause trouble here. Chen Qingtian can make a fuss wherever he goes, but naval headquarters can't. Fortunately, he was still sensible and didn't mess around. Kong always felt that Chen Qingtian was hiding something, giving him a dangerous feeling. Investigating him is to reassure myself. After several days of investigation, nothing was found, and Chen Qingtian's resume is also very clean. Hope it's not what I think it is. New World. On an island. A boat is on the shore with no one on it. On the beach, a group of people are having a barbecue. They are singing and dancing, having a good time. Rayleigh, eat the roast, don't sit back and drink. And you, Bullet, can you blend in with the group? What are you doing alone? Buggy Boy, hurry up and barbecue. Captain, I'm the only one grilling meat. I can't do it. Look at Shanks, he's gone to play again. The clown Buggy, who works alone, complained about Shanks and ran away without saying hello to himself. It hurt me that I was caught by the captain to barbecue. I guess today is inseparable from the barbecue stall. Too difficult. Gululu. Roger drank heavily, he smiled and put his arms around Buggy and said, ha ha ha, Buggy, have a laugh. Buggy smiled like a clown. His red nose is very red, and he was often laughed at before. After following the captain, none of them laughed at him. It's so pretty, I have to smile more in the future, and I can't always put on a dead face. Buggy is angry, where is the face of a dead man, can he speak? Captain, if you say that again, I will be angry. Roger puts his arms around Buggy and offers him a sip of his drink. Buggy took a sip, choking him into a cough. His face flushed and he coughed constantly. Ha ha, little Buggy, you're still too young. Ha ha. Ha ha. For a split second, everyone was amused by Buggy. Atmosphere, harmony, joy. Buggy laughed along, joining in with their joy. Captain, give me another drink. Who knows that Roger refused, he said righteously. Buggy, you are still a child, you can't drink secretly. Buggy. I'm going to you banana bara. Whoever made me drink just now, stand up. Believe it or not, lousy kick you, it's disgusting. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. The others were amused again. The captain is a pistachio, and so is Buggy. When the two are together, there will definitely be trouble. Buggy the clown pushed the captain away, sulking all by himself. The captain was too nasty to pay him any attention. Shanks came to help, he pushed the angry Buggy, Buggy ignored him, and pushed again. After pushing several times in a row, Buggy was willing to talk to him. What are you doing, Shanks, do you want to get spanked? Buggy. Don't make trouble, I'll help you barbecue, don't you thank me? Shanks is paid to help. Buggy rolled his eyes, and he scolded Shanks. You don't eat if you have the ability, hum. Ha ha, Buggy, come on, give me a smile. I laugh at you, wintermelon tofu. Two people, wrestling together. Soon, it became a chase fight. Buggy, chasing Shanks. The two ran around the brothers, watching their figures. Roger smiled sincerely. How nice it is like this. Roger, didn't you say that one of your elders is coming to see you? Why haven't you seen anyone yet? Rayleigh asked Roger that they had been waiting on this island for a while. For 5 or 6 days, when the captain had already left, the captain answered a phone call and was so excited that he couldn't sleep. Said to be an elder, but Rayleigh had never heard Roger mention it. Isn't he alone? And elders? And he came to New World to visit him. You must know that Roger's hometown is East Blue. I came to New World to visit him from Shankara Dion in East Blue. When Rayleigh heard it, he thought he had heard it wrong. After confirming it later, he realized that Roger was not joking. Come on, he should be nearby. Rayleigh glanced around, but there was no sign of a ship approaching. Coming soon. Is it flying? Roger, stop joking. Flying from East Blue. Impossible. Rayleigh didn't believe anyone could fly from East Blue, it was too far. Coming. Roger closed his eyes, then opened them. He felt the breath in the distance, it was very faint, but he still felt it. That different aura was very secretive, and it wasn't because he had special abilities that he really couldn't feel it. Coming? Rayleigh stood up and looked at the sky seriously, but saw no one. Others imitated his appearance and looked at the surrounding sky. What? Buggy, yell. Pointing forward in horror, he sat back on the sand. Shanks and the others looked in the direction Buggy pointed, and they were all shocked. Is he walking on the sea? How is this possible? Impossible things. Can humans do it? What kind of ability is this? On the sea in the distance, a person walked quickly. That speed was really fast, and he came 10 meters away in the blink of an eye. The waves behind him surged as he walked. They were shocked, thinking about what kind of ability this is. Which devil fruit's ability is it? The ability to control the sea. Incredible. The man walking on the sea approached slowly. One step away, already more than 10 meters away. He raised his hand and waved at Roger and the others, very much like the leader when he was on patrol. The seawater was in front of him. Chen Qingtian jumped down, and the seawater behind him returned to calm. Haha, Roger boy, long time no see. When Roger saw him, he rushed up and drew his knife. The blade was completely black, and the huge aura spread from him, and everyone around him was shocked. The weak Buggy and Shanks couldn't open their eyes, and their trembling bodies would fall down at any time. Rayleigh steadied them both so they wouldn't fall. Bullet's eyes flashed brightly. Captain, he attacked. Ahahaha, eat me with a knife. Roger yelled, walking aggressively. His cloak moved with the wind, and his two beards were hooked up, looking fierce. Wait, Roger. Chen Qingtian stretched out his hand and called Roger to stop. Roger wasn't going to stop, he wasn't going to listen to him. The tragedies of the past are now coming back. Old man, don't run, I won't hurt you. Don't go, I'm coming. Laughing Roger, he has been waiting for this day for a long time. He is strong enough to deal with the old man. He has been looking for it for a long time these years. No news of the old man was found, as if he had disappeared. Now that you have appeared, it is a rare opportunity, who knows where you will hide next time. When you appear, I will beat you immediately. Don't say anything, just beat me up first. Ahem, Roger boy. Do you have the heart to attack this old man? The old man is old, not the old man before. Do you disrespect the old and love the young when you do something to me? Beautiful traditional virtues, have you forgotten? Chen Qingtian didn't dodge, and let Roger's knife cut him down. The knife is in sight. Roger tested that the old man would avoid it, however, he did nothing. Standing still, allowing himself to chop, Roger stopped urgently. The blade stopped a centimeter away from Chen Qingtian's forehead. The overwhelming momentum, at this moment, was due to calmness. All hockey, converge back to the body. Roger's mastery of his own power was superb. If you want to accept it, you can accept it, and you won't say that the attack is out, and you can't take it back. The delicate control has reached a terrifying level. An ordinary strike is equivalent to someone else's ultimate move. Why don't you fight? Old man. Chen Qingtian blinked, curled his lips and said, you are so strong now. Why'd I want to fight you? I still want to live a few more years. I'm old. I don't want to fight anymore, and so do you. Your temper is still so irritable, can you be more stable? You are the captain now, so be careful, don't let the crew see the joke. In any case, he is also half a leader, still the same as before, innocent and pure. Over the years of sailing, Roger has found like-minded people and a few close friends. They accompanied Roger through the difficult years and made him feel the love of his companions. As for the knife, put it away, and don't shoot it at me. My own people, don't mess around. Chen Qingtian held Roger's hand and pushed his blade back. Don't make trouble, now is not the time to fight. We are not opponents either. Roger was reluctant to take it back, he provocatively said. Old man, are you afraid? Chen Qingtian. Silent. Cough cough. Coughing, knowing that Roger is aggressive, Chen Qingtian still said. What are you afraid of? I am afraid that I will beat you with too much force, and then you will lose face. How embarrassing you are to defeat you in front of your subordinates. As for me, old man, it's for your face. Come on, old man, let's fight. Pulling out the saber, Chen Qingtian pressed it quickly. Don't make a fuss. It's time for dinner. What are you playing? Chen Qingtian said again. Don't disturb others eating. How many times have I told you, don't waste it. You see so many barbecues, I will help you share. Hey, that red-nosed boy, hurry up and barbecue. Didn't you see that the old man was hungry? Sitting down, Chen Qingtian ignored the anger of others. The clown Buggy became the object of Chen Qingtian's ridicule. A red-nosed boy, Buggy exploded. He jumped up, pointed at Chen Qingtian and said, "What's your name, lousy?" Hockey is sideways, young, and Buggy has a very good attitude. Chen Qingtian blinked. Red nose, is there a problem? Buggy said loudly. Don't call me Red Nose, lousy is Buggy. I have a name, I'm Buggy, not Kiba or Red Nose. You have to call me Lord Buggy, the great pirate. Who are you calling a red nose? Buggy exploded in anger, this old man's mouth is too damaged. The red-haired man next to him laughed so hard he couldn't see his teeth, the old man was so funny. The way of appearance is handsome, the words are tricky, and the angry Buggy scum dances. I said who has a red nose, don't you have a clue? Chen Qingtian said heartlessly. Your nose is red here, and other people's noses are normal noses. If you don't call you Red Nose, what do you call you? Eh? Or do you want me to call you Buggy, or Big Brother Buggy? Do you deserve it? I dare to call, do you dare to promise? Don't dare, haven't you seen how the captain looks like an obedient son in front of the old man? Their relationship is definitely not bad, but the captain is very arrogant and doesn't pay attention to anyone. Chen Qingtian was the first person to make the captain obedient. It seems that he was educated a lot before. HMPH, you can call me whatever you want, you can't call me Red Nose. The Buggy God tier conceded. To save face, don't push yourself too hard. Okay, Red Nose, quick barbecue, I'm hungry. Buggy exploded with anger, wanted to vent, but couldn't. He grilled the meat obediently, deliberately adding a pinch of salt to Chen Qingtian. He wants to salt him to death so that he can't speak. Here, your barbecue. Chen Qingtian took a look at the barbecue, and then glanced at Buggy, who was flustered. Buggy. Could it be that he saw through it? Impossible. Lousy did it so covertly, he won't find out. Kid, you want to cheat me, you are a little tender. Hey, that kid, yes, it's you who's talking about, I'll reward you. I heard you can transform, boy, show me one. Barbecue, Chen Qingtian handed the bullet beside him. You eat, I am optimistic about you. Bullet looked at the barbecue in his hand, lost in confusion. He looked at Chen Qingtian, then at Buggy, should I eat it or not? Eat, don't you give me and Buggy kid face? Or do you doubt his barbecue skills? Buckle up, Chen Qingtian is good at it, I'll give you one if you haven't eaten yet. Eat or not, if you don't eat, you don't give face. You have to be careful, if you don't eat it, you will offend two people. If you eat it, no one needs to offend. Buggy was confused, how could this kind of thing happen, how did he know? It's over, if Bullet eats, he will be beaten to death. Bullet, you don't have to eat, I will. Buggy grabbed it and ate it by himself. Is it delicious? Buggy boy. Delicious. Buggy endured the salty taste, his mouth was full of salt. It's impossible not to eat, they stared at themselves, with that look, as if they were going to eat themselves. If I spit it out, I will end up miserable. Bullet saw something was wrong, he looked at Buggy with interest, you kid can cheat, but you got tricked. Haha, Buggy, you have today too. Roger and others also laughed, it was so funny. Ha ha ha. Everyone was amused, it was hilarious for them to see Buggy deflated. Buggy grimaced and ate the piece of barbecue, but luckily it wasn't too big, otherwise, he would have been lying here. Shanks comforted Buggy and said, Buggy, don't mess with it, and just barbecue. If you want to cheat someone, you must first know who the other party is. What character? You see, have you lifted a rock and shot yourself in the foot? Are you happy, are you happy? Buggy snorted coldly, ignored Shanks, and obediently grilled the meat. This time, he didn't mess with anything. Roasting with peace of mind, Chen Qingtian took over the barbecue. Thank you Buggy for the barbecue. This time, do you have any ingredients? Buggy blushed. He looked down at the ground, not daring to meet Chen Qingtian's eyes. The others, then laughed. Roger taunted Buggy and said, ha ha, Buggy boy, don't make trouble, the old man is very powerful, your little tricks are just trivial. I think back then, the old man's tricks against Lousy were ruthless, deadly moves. Recalling those years, Roger was sincerely moved. Time flies so fast, in the blink of an eye, I am already middle-aged. The old man is getting older, but his spirit has not declined, on the contrary, it has become stronger. Taking a closer look, Roger discovers a startling truth. The old man is very strong, his blood, his heart, and his body are so good that it is outrageous. He didn't become old because of his age, he was strong and powerful, 3 points stronger than him. Such a strong body, such a huge vitality, is too terrifying. Approaching the old man, a faint coercion emanated from his body, faintly visible. Only those with strong strength can feel it. Strong coercion, like Conqueror's Haki, but not. With a strange ability, Roger couldn't help but look at his teacher Chen Qingtian. What are you looking at me for? Roger. Drink and eat barbecue. They happily enjoyed a moment of tranquility, and Roger's eyes became different. No. What is the old man looking for me for? What is Chen Qingtian's purpose for traveling thousands of miles to find him? I just wanted to come to New World for a walk, but I didn't expect you to be nearby. No. I stopped by to see you. Why, old man is not welcome. Roger shook his head quickly. No. Why don't you welcome me? I'm not too happy that you can come to visit me all the time. Happy to be happy. There are some things I still have to ask. Traveling without a purpose is unlikely to be convincing. Rayleigh nodded. The captain still had a brain, not a fool. It's really a trip. For me, I went to Marineford with my son and grandson. I stopped by New World to take a walk and breathe the fresh air of New World. Suddenly it occurred to me that there is another you. No, let's see you by the way, haha. Laugh out loud and touch your head. His behavior, everything is so casual. Same as before, nothing changed. Son? Grandson? Roger asked in shock. You still have a son? Rayleigh asked, and Marine? Buggy. Are you Marine? Several other people were vigilant. This old man is from Marine, so he came to arrest them. Bullet rushed over immediately. He didn't like Marine. He will fight all Marines. In an instant, Bullet completed his transformation. The huge figure rushed over, and Roger wanted to call for a stop, but it was too late. Bullet moves too fast, and Rayleigh tries to stop him, taking a step back. The others didn't expect Bullet to make a move in an instant, and the captain moved before he could speak. Marine, kill me. Chen Qingtian blinked, speechless. Kid, do you have persecution paranoia? Before I finish speaking, you come and hit me. No way, boy. Do you have the traditional virtue of respecting the old and loving the young in your eyes? Do you know that sneak attack is a despicable thing? Roger boy, your subordinates don't understand the rules. Backhand, punch. The half-transformed Bullet did not awaken devil fruit, and his strength was not as strong as later. But the power shown is not weak, his fist hits with all his strength. Even Rayleigh had to fight hard to stop it. As for Chen Qingtian, he punched lightly and said nothing. A punch without moves, normal and slow. This punch, in the eyes of the members of the Roger Pirates, is slow, has no attack power, and anyone can avoid it. Roger's pupils condensed, and it was this trick again, a familiar one. It seems to be slow, but in fact, it is very, very fast. It's because Bullet's movements are slow, the old man's attack is relative. Bullet is bad, Roger murmured. Rayleigh heard this, looked up, and he saw a scene that shocked him. The moment Bullet's attack hadn't touched Chen Qingtian's attack landed. Bombarding Bullet's chest, his armor, a thick layer of armor formed by devil fruit, shattered in an instant. In less than a second, it all shattered, revealing the Bullet inside. Fist, bomb. With a light punch, unparalleled strength erupted. How is this possible? Bullet looked down at his chest, he had been hit. When did it happen and why did he feel that he would hit Chen Qingtian first? Immediately afterwards, severe pain spread to every corner of his body. Muscles, blood vessels, and internal organs showed signs of fragmentation. Master, take it easy. Roger said quickly. Chen Qingtian withdrew his hand, and his strength was instantly withdrawn by 70%. Bullet flew out resolutely, hit the ground, and blasted a huge deep hole. The power of a punch is so terrifying. Everyone was dumbfounded. With one punch, Bullet falls. That crazy Bullet passed out, literally punched and didn't need a last hit. Buggy. Silent. Shanks. Silent. Rayleigh. Silent. I'm sorry, it's such a strong punch. Had it not been for the captain's final shout, Bullet would have been in a much worse situation and would have been punched to death by the old man. From this moment on, others dare not underestimate the old man. No wonder the captain will fight when they meet. It turns out, the old man is so strong. Is he still here? I said don't be impulsive, don't be impulsive, impulsive is the devil, think carefully before doing it. Sneak attack is not a good habit, don't mess around next time, kid. This time is a warning to you. Next time, the old man is afraid that he won't be able to hold back and will punch you to death. Bullet. Buggy rushed over to check Bullet's condition, he just passed out, and suffered a little injury, but it wasn't serious. It will be fine after a short rest. He called Shanks to help Bullet to go to the ship's doctor, give him a little treatment, and let him continue to sleep. It is estimated that they will not wake up in 2 or 3 hours. After they packed the Bullet, they continued to drink and eat meat. The look in Chen Qingtian's eyes is different, especially the clown Buggy. Just now I wanted to make fun of him. The old man doesn't care about himself, he is still afraid, in case he gets upset somewhere, isn't he? Gulu. Buggy, who was grilling meat, felt someone tap his shoulder, and he raised his head in panic. Seeing this, he was frightened to death, almost blowing up the whole barbecue. You, don't mess around, I tell you, me. Incoherent Buggy, terrified and panicked. Terrified, he turns to Shanks for help. Shanks looked down as if he couldn't see. Go ahead, Buggy, face it, I'll collect your body. Buggy was so scared that he wanted to cry, he stepped back and begged the others for protection. What are you afraid of? The old man won't eat you, come, let the old man do it himself. Buggy's barbecue technique is very good, and he doesn't want to eat after 2 bites. It's better to do it yourself and have enough food and clothing. Here you are. Buggy, who didn't dare to say anything, gave up his seat and let Chen Qingtian barbecue. As for him, he wanted to leave, away from the dangerous person Chen Qingtian. Chen Qingtian grabbed his shoulders and refused to let him go. The clown Buggy was even more frightened. His complexion changed drastically, and he continued to struggle, but he still couldn't escape Chen Qingtian's clutches. Don't move, take a good look, the old man will tell you how to make barbecue delicious. Your barbecue skills are too poor, even worse than your captain's. I really can't see it. Buggy has a question mark on his head, what is it? The captain can cook. Others also asked questions. What's the situation? Isn't their captain a fool who can't do anything? How can you cook? Buggy tremblingly asked. Old man, you mean my captain can cook? Yes, didn't he do it for you? At this moment, all members of Roger's pirate group stared at Roger. Thousands of Sao Nima crawled through their hearts. Even Rayleigh, looking back at Roger, looked very unfriendly. Can you cook? Roger looked at the sky and said with emotion, the weather is really nice today, Rayleigh. Don't change the subject for me. Let me ask you, can you cook? Rayleigh didn't eat this. This man had deceived him for decades. After I met him, he kept saying that he couldn't cook and let himself do it. He does everything by himself, and he is a useless person. If the old man hadn't said he could cook, he would have been kept in the dark. All members of the Roger Pirates looked at their captain in disbelief. Haha, don't worry about those little things in the past. Roger said affectionately. Rayleigh, we have to look forward. The future is what we look forward to. In the past, let him pass. Let's look forward to the future, shall we? Come on, admit it. Roger's attitude said it all. Rayleigh draws his sword, don't say anything, let's fight. No, Rayleigh, it's my fault for lying to you. I can cook, but that was many years ago. Roger explained. I didn't want to be forced to cook back then, hey. Had it not been for someone oppressing me, would my life be so miserable? In order to hide that he knows how to cook, he does everything possible to act. It's rare to hide it for so many years, but I didn't expect to be exposed by the old man. Go. Give me a barbecue. Rayleigh was upset. Today, he had to cook for himself no matter what. The others shouted along with Rayleigh, barbecue. Barbecue. Buggy and Shanks who booed were happiest, they were young and the job of the barbecue fell to them. Even if you want to refuse, now that the captain and the boss are doing something, they can just let them rest. Roger wanted to resist, but was held down by Rayleigh to barbecue. Helpless, he could only stand next to Chen Qingtian, and the two of them barbecued together. With Roger and Chen Qingtian who cooperated tacitly, the movements were clean and neat. They are more proficient than each of them, the two seem to have returned to their childhood. While grilling the meat, Roger asked, by the way, old man, haven't you mentioned your son and grandson yet? How come I never heard that you have a son? It was the first time Roger knew about this matter. I was so shocked, I thought the old man was alone. Unexpectedly, he actually had a son. Eh? Is it strange that this old man has a son? Chen Qingtian said, this old man is also a human being, and he needs to live. As for the old man's son, haven't you seen it? Chen Qingtian of the barbecue, concentrating on the barbecue and talking casually. After a pause, he continued to grill the meat. The few people present were surrounded instead. They met. Who? When did this happen? Roger smiled and said, haha, old man, I don't remember some unknown people, you better hurry up and talk about it. Chen Qingtian glanced at Roger and blinked. Shall I tell you? Roger raised his eyebrows, he must be talking. You aroused Laozi's interest, and you actually wanted to break the topic. It's unreasonable, don't you know that it's impolite to say half of what you say? What a nobody, you really are. Chen Qingtian looked up at the sky and looked down at Roger. Didn't you guys work together in the Valley of Gods? I heard you were almost beaten to death by that rocks guy. You're good, boy. Nose-picking, the man did the same thing his son Garp did. After saying this, the surroundings were silent. Needle drop can be heard. For a while, the sound of shock kept ringing out. What? What? Are you joking? Your son is Garp. Vice Admiral Garp is your son? No way? This? Everyone was so shocked that the old man in front of them turned out to be the father of that bastard Garp. They couldn't believe it, and when they looked at Chen Qingtian carefully, they saw the clue. Very similar, he didn't say it at first, others just thought the old man looked like someone. After he said, the appearance of Chen Qingtian and Garp overlapped, they were really similar. This? How is this possible? Stop joking, okay? Your son turned out to be Garp. To say who is the most shocked, it must be Roger. He never thought that Garp was the old man's son. He and Garp had met countless times and cooperated once, but he didn't even know their relationship. It's really off the charts. Grandpa, are you kidding me? Roger still couldn't believe it. How could Garp be your son? He's a Marine, and you. Wait, are you a Marine too? Roger was shocked 3 times, his 3 views were subverted. At this moment, there is no peace. The person who taught me is a Marine, and I am a pirate. Marine and pirates are natural opposites. Wait a minute, why didn't the old man let himself be a Marine? A series of questions arose, and Roger kept asking himself. Only the old man can solve these problems. Chen Qingtian picked his nose. Who said the old man is Marine? You guys think too much. I am not a Marine or a pirate. Just an ordinary person with a little bit of strength, and also an old man. Don't get me wrong. Just because my son Garp is a Marine doesn't mean I'm a Marine, it's 2 different things. Roger asked in shock. Your son is Marine. Why aren't you Marine? Chen Qingtian knocked on Roger's head, and said, my son wants to become a Marine, that is his choice. I will not forcefully change other people's choices, whether they want to be a Marine or a pirate, it is their own way. How to go? Ask yourself, not me. I can only teach you the ability to protect yourself, and the rest depends on yourself. Everyone has their own persistence, and they have to go their own way. This old man will not do that kind of thing. Having said that, Chen Qingtian stopped for a while. Glancing at Roger, he continued, for example, you. What did the old man ask you to do? What kind of person do you want to be? What do you want to do? Whether it's a Marine, a pirate, or an ordinary worker, I can accept it, as long as you don't be a person who burns, kills, loots, and does all kinds of evil. Whether it's you, them, or the old man himself, each has his own way to go. Ordinary and ordinary roads are also roads. Some people, for 3 meals. Some people, for great dreams. Some people just want to protect one side. Some people are people who want to liberate suffering. They are all worthy of respect and commendable. Roger, looking at the old man quietly. The old man used to say these words often, but he couldn't understand them. I don't want to listen to it, but now I listen to it again and again with emotion. He also slowly accepted that Garp is Chen Qingtian's son, no wonder he is so tough. It turns out that they all came from the same person's education, doesn't it mean that they are brothers and sisters? Thinking about it this way, he couldn't react. Rayleigh was the most shocked. Okay. My captain is from the same class as Marine Vice Admiral Garp. The teachers come from the same school, and they are all apprentices of the old man in front of him. From their conversation, it is not difficult to tell that the captain used to live with this old man when he was a child. What the captain knows, he also teaches. Roger, are you really taught by him? Roger recalled being a child, himself, having nothing. After meeting the old man, he had a life. The word life is hard to understand. As a young boy, he gradually understood the importance of life. The unbearable weight, until now, with the strength, can I practice my dream. Everything is inseparable from the teaching when I was a child. The old man is good at teaching people. How should I put it? He can make you very. There are no words to describe Roger's words, stuck in place. Rayleigh understood, the old man in front of him was a strong man and a qualified teacher. Look at Garp. Then look at your own captain, 2 people, no less accomplished. Roger is very curious about who is the senior brother and who is the second junior brother between himself and Garp. Chen Qingtian blinked, thought for a moment and said, ahem, Roger. What about you? Don't count them, you count yours, they count theirs. They? Roger raised his hand and asked weakly, they? Who are they? My God, isn't it by myself? Who else? Stand out. Chen Qingtian smiled embarrassedly. At that time, Garp practiced with 2 people. Who are the other 2? Roger. I can take it, you go ahead. Rayleigh and the others put down their work, staring at the old man one by two. Waiting for the old man to reveal the answer. They want to know who else the old man taught? You probably know them too. Roger was shocked. I know him? Could it be Marine too? Chen Qingtian nodded and said, well, one is called Sengoku and the other is called He. They are both careless people. After thinking for a long time, Chen Qingtian stroked his chin and said their names. After speaking, the scene fell into silence again. Silent. Hiss. The sound of panic continued. Buggy was shocked several times. He widened his eyes and stared at the old man. Shit, it's too strong. Who the hell is he? Unexpectedly. Rayleigh. Damn it. My good boy, it's so scary. Sengoku, Crane, Garp, all 3 were taught by the old man. It's unimaginable, it's terrifying. You cow. Crap. Heaven defying. You're going crazy. The man who hangs the sky, his record is so brilliant. A Garp, a Roger, is already shocking enough. 2 more, your sister, are you going to do something heaven defying? Terrible old fellow, that's the real old man. Rayleigh asked, anyone else? He wants to ask clearly, so that in the future, it is not good for one's own people to beat their own people. Not for now. In the future, who knows? Chen Qingtian smiled slightly. For some people, it is better not to speak out. I can't talk nonsense anymore, it's not good for them to spread the word. Oh, it's a slip of the tongue, you guys pretend you didn't hear anything. Chen Qingtian warned. You just need to know these things yourself. It's best not to say anything. After all, Garp and the others don't know that I brought you out, ha ha ha. You say it's funny or not, Roger boy. Roger. Rayleigh. Silent. Buggy. Silent. Shanks et al. Silent. This person is a bully. Sure enough, if you don't tell me, we are all kept in the dark. No wonder I looked at Garp very familiarly, the movements, attacks, and character were really familiar. Why didn't you take a closer look at the beginning? Maybe you could see the clues. You are a cruel person. He became so ruthless that he even cheated his own son. Roger has seen it. The old man is the old man, the way of thinking is different. The 2 of them said nothing. The clown Buggy next to him pulled Shanks and whispered. Shanks, you said that if we ask the old man to teach you 2 tricks, don't we? Shanks' eyes lit up. Yes, the old man is so powerful, if he is willing to teach them 2 tricks, wouldn't it be? Get rich. This time, they are going to get rich. Okay, let's go together. Shanks made up his mind that he must learn the technique. Buggy added. Today is definitely not possible. Tomorrow we will go to him and drag him and not let him go. As long as we can persist for a month, we will be able to become regulars by then. They are still trainee crew members, and they are still some distance away from becoming full-timers. Insufficient strength is the biggest obstacle. In order to rectify, fight. 2 people embraced together. Having found hope, they burst into tears. Night. Rayleigh found Roger, and the 2 chatted about the old man in the past, but Roger rarely said anything. After meeting the old man, Rayleigh learned about Roger's unknown story. When I was young, everyone encountered difficulties. I didn't expect Roger to be so difficult. I didn't expect that he had not practiced for a long time, but his strength was so terrifying, and his talent was horrifying. The age of the old man is also what Rayleigh is curious about. He is not young and his strength cannot be underestimated. The man who can knock Bullet out with a single punch, except for the captain, no one else on board can do it, not even Rayleigh. And still in the case of Bullet's sneak attack, the old man reacted instantly, especially that punch, which was very slow, and very strange. It looked like it missed, but in fact, it hit. It is somewhat similar to Roger's attack. It cannot be touched in the field of vision, but in fact, it has already been touched. How old is the old man? Leaning against the boat, Rayleigh settled into a comfortable position and took a sip of his wine. Roger took a sip of his wine and thought about it. I don't know, when I met him, he was not young. He didn't tell me how old he is, haha, but I heard that Garp's son has grown up too, so you can guess the old man's age. The son is middle-aged, the grandson is young, and they have all grown up. Based on this calculation, the old man is at least in his 60s. He is in his 60s, and he doesn't look like he is in his 60s. The power, movement, and speed of punching are stronger than him. Not even Rayleigh could take that punch. How strong is the old man? Roger shook his head. He pondered for a moment, and said, anyway, he could abuse me before, but now, I don't know. I want to test his strength. If he doesn't fight me, he won't give me a chance. Actually, I really want to beat up the old man, haha. Roger smiled happily. As for him, there are two things he wants to do most in his life. The first thing, of course, is to become the One Piece, the king of the sea. Second, without a doubt, find the old man and beat him up. Now that he knows the old man's information, he is not afraid that he will not be able to find it. Garp's father, if you don't know where he is, you can ask Garp. At this moment, the old man, who is so inexplicable as Shenlong, has revealed his mysterious identity, which is not very mysterious. It's just that his identity is a bit scary. When we met, the old man said he was Garp's son, and Roger didn't even care about him. Now, it's different. I don't know if I can fight now. I feel that the old man is still very strong. His strength has not been weakened. Age is unavoidable for everyone. As you get old, your strength weakens. Depending on the individual's physique, some people will suddenly weaken to a very low level. For example, Qingzhao, his strength has declined very quickly, and he looks different from him when he was young. The ones that keep up are Garp and the old guys. Haha, Roger, what you said is not funny at all. Rayleigh seemed to hear a big joke. Roger's strength can now be described as terrifying. After defeating rocks, his strength has gone a step further. Not even Rayleigh wanted a fight with Roger, too strong. In front of him, he said that he didn't know if he could beat the old man. Isn't this a joke? As strong as rocks have failed, no matter how strong the old man is, it is probably the same. I'm not joking, Rayleigh, Roger said seriously. If you don't believe me, you can talk to the old man to learn from him. The old man's swordsmanship is pretty good. Knowing a little about everything, the old man is an all-rounder. It seems that without him he would not. He knows physical skills, hockey, fruit ability development, and the most difficult swordsmanship. Roger learned swordsmanship and hockey, and he learned a little bit of other things, not just a grandmaster. Garp, on the other hand, may specialize in learning from the old man's fists. That pair of iron fists was really fierce. If you don't eat devil fruit, Garp's strength is comparable to him. I was still wondering before, but now I understand everything. Rayleigh was surprised. Is it the old man who told you not to eat devil fruit? Yes, at the time I thought the old man was joking, but now it seems that it is right not to eat devil fruit. The disadvantage of devil fruit is too obvious. It can increase your strength in a short period of time, but when you face the sea, you will fall into a passive position. Devil fruit, cursed by the sea, always fears the sea. You didn't eat it. Garp didn't eat it. Why did they eat Sengoku? Rayleigh asked his doubts. Roger shook his head. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how to eat it. If you let them eat it, they won't eat it. Devil fruit, it is best not to eat. Eat it, that's all. Rayleigh didn't expect that the words not to eat devil fruit came from the old man. It seems that the old man knows a little bit about the inside story. I said you too, it's not a good person to speak ill of others behind their backs. A voice scared the two of them. Rayleigh quickly moved to Roger's side, the other side was too dangerous. Roger laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, old man, if you don't drink with them, what are you doing here? Chen Qingtian looked at the noisy people below. They ate their meal for a long time. I ate until the evening. The happy children like this environment the most. Drinking with them is boring. Drinking with you is interesting. Chen Qingtian pointed at Buggy and said, those two little guys are interesting. Why don't you throw them to the old man, and let the old man help you train and train? Roger nodded without thinking. Okay, it's their luck that you see them. Rayleigh tried to stop it, but it was too late. Buggy, Shanks, the captain has sold you both, take care. It's just that my hands are itchy. I haven't hit anyone for a long time. My hands are rusty, haha. Waving his fist, there was a crackling sound. Rayleigh once again prayed to Buggy and I hope you can survive. How long are you going to train, old man? Roger asked. 1 year is best. If not, 1 month is fine. I think they have a solid foundation and lack a little energy. Chen Qingtian said with a smile. You know, I have professional training, and they are in my hands. It will be transformed. I believe this. I'm worried about how to train them. The old man is here. Naturally, I will let you train them. Roger didn't discuss with them when selling people, and said directly. Why don't we start tomorrow and give them training? You exercise for a month, and we rest here for a month. Anyway, this month, we don't plan to leave here. The corner of Rayleigh's mouth twitched, and their plan could only be pushed back. The captain has said so, what else can he say? Old man. Exercising twice is also exercising, and exercising 3 times is also exercising. Why don't you take over that kid Bullet for exercising as well? That kid has a weird temper, but his personality is not bad. Give you a month of exercising, maybe you can change it. No problem. Chen Qingtian accepted the task happily. Buggy. Silent. Shanks. Silent. Bullet. Silent. The next day, early morning. The island is similar to the one where Chen Qingtian lived, nothing to be surprised about. A mountain with a forest below and surrounded by seawater. The air is filled with the salty smell of seawater. Some people like it, some people hate it, and some people live in the middle. The plants look weird, and they are different from what I have seen before. Strange flora and fauna. Every island has strange things, nothing curious. As for Chen Qingtian, he got up early in the morning and looked for the 3 people who were sleeping everywhere. He found Bullet's location immediately, seeing that he was sleeping soundly, so he didn't bother him for the time being. Let him lie down for a while, and soon he will know what despair is. He stood on the sand, looking ahead, looking for Buggy's small body. Others are hard to find, but Buggy is still easy to find. I saw at a glance that he and Shanks were hugging each other. The relationship between the two was said to be nothing special, and no one would believe it. Do everything together, the 2 sneaky people must have been drinking secretly last night. You can see that they are drunk, play until midnight at night, and can't get up in the morning. Coming up to them, Chen Qingtian kicked Buggy with his foot. Buggy turned away, without opening his eyes, and continued to sleep. Ding, my dear boy. I don't know what it means to be young. Struggle, work hard, and the young and the old don't work hard, but the old man is sad. How can we see the boy doing badly? Do they have the right to do badly? Mission. In a world with serious introversion, every teenager is working hard. You 3 people with little talent, why don't you work hard? Reward. Unknown. Remarks. The task time is 1 month. Make good use of 1 month to make the 3 of them reborn. Be careful, one of them is angry with you, but you should take good care of it. Everyone needs love, some people need more love. The 3 of them triggered the task together. Chen Qingtian hadn't heard this voice for a long time, it was really wonderful. The eyes looking at the 3 of Buggy softened. How can they not care for them when they come from fuxing? He lifted his foot and kicked Buggy again. This kick is not low in power. Buggy and Shanks slid out a meter, and the 2 woke up in pain. When they opened their eyes, they embraced together and closed up and down. That posture was shocking. Shanks. Why are you pressing me down? You're the one holding me, Buggy. Shanks. Let go of your hand. Buggy, where is your kick? The 2 people abused each other, and their movements were not slow. The pain woke them up, and they looked up to see the smiling Chen Qingtian. Buggy backed away subconsciously, pushing Shanks out against him. Shanks raised his hand and smiled. Hi. Hi. Chen Qingtian smiled and greeted them. The gentle appearance makes people relax their vigilance. Buggy asked. Grandpa, did you see who kicked me just now? No. Chen Qingtian opened his eyes and said nonsense. I didn't see it. Why, is someone going to murder you? Buggy said angrily. It's unreasonable to attack me while I'm sleeping. What kind of hero is he? If you have the ability to stand up and challenge me, see if I don't torture you to death. The arrogant Buggy wants to find the murderer and beat up the murderer. Shanks glanced around. There was only one person standing, the old man. He tugged Buggy to stop talking. Whoever kicked them can be seen at a glance. Buggy continued, damn bastard, stand up for me. Sneaky and sneaky, who are you? My uncle counts to 3 times. If you don't come out again, my uncle will be angry. Buggy. Shanks continued to pull Buggy, but Buggy shook his hand impatiently. Shanks, why are you pulling me? Shanks pressed Buggy's head, against his will, hard. Buggy. Do you look around? Buggy's small eyes swept around, but no one woke up. What's there to see, Shanks? Shanks was speechless. He said, everyone else fell asleep, only one woke up. Who do you think kicked you? As soon as the words came out, Buggy was stunned. It seems that they discovered something extraordinary. It was the old man who moved the 2 of them, not others. Back subconsciously, the scary old man. The scene of blowing Bullet away with a punch last night is vivid in his memory. They don't want to be punched by the old man. Find the killer? Buggy kid. Buggy shook his head, he wanted to run. The same goes for Shanks. It must be no good for the old man to find them. Chen Qingtian said slowly. Last night, your captain handed you over to me for training for a month. I will be your teacher for the next month. Of course, you don't need to call me teacher, you can call me old man, as you like. What? No. Buggy and Shanks yell at the same time, what's going on? The captain sold us. Could it be that they saw what the 2 of us were thinking? Are you happy? Still excited? Or fear? Both. Buggy and Shanks looked at each other. They both regretted it. It seemed that it would be miserable to practice with the old man for a month. I'll ask the captain. Buggy wanted to go, but his foot was stepped on by Chen Qingtian. The person flew out, and he stared blankly at his feet. Don't ask, they already know. On top of the boat stood Roger and Rayleigh, who waved. Smiling, they shouted loudly, "Buggy, Shanks, and Bullet, you will follow the old man for the next month, and you must practice hard." Hearing this sentence, Buggy and Shanks said the same thing in their hearts. The captain is not a human being, so he made a decision without asking them. But fortunately, there is still Bullet, the seed of resentment, and they will not be too miserable. The two of them looked at each other and smiled deeply. Then he took Chen Qingtian to find Bullet. The two of them couldn't be the only ones suffering. On the boat, Rayleigh looked at Chen Qingtian worriedly, and he worriedly asked, "Is it really possible, Roger?" "There's nothing wrong with it. You just wait to receive talents. People who pass through the hands of the old man, haha, will be very obedient." Roger laughed loudly. Although the old man's exercise method was a little scary, the effect would be very good. At least the three of them will benefit a lot, and they won't get nothing. Rayleigh didn't know why, but his heart was filled with worry. "Is it really okay?" "Sure, Rayleigh. Will they die?" "No, Rayleigh, you don't have to worry. The old man has a sense of proportion. At most, he will cripple them. He won't kill them." As soon as this remark came out, Rayleigh was even more worried. "Disabled? What's the difference between dead and dead?" "Roger, do you think we should go and watch, just in case?" "Don't be afraid of 10,000, just in case. After all, they are partners, so they can't be beaten to death." "Relax, Rayleigh, let's go drink and wait a month." Rayleigh wanted to watch and was pushed by Roger to drink. "Enjoy, wait, don't rush. Hey, Bullet, wake up." Buggy gave Bullet a kick, and with the backing behind him, he wasn't afraid of Bullet at the moment. The arrogant Buggy God tier, with his hips on his hips, raised his head and chest, kicked the second kick without any scruples, and Bullet didn't respond. It seems that he is still in a coma, with no signs of awakening. "Shanks, you kick too." Shanks is also a newborn calf who is not afraid of tigers, and stepped forward to kick him. This kick is powerful, not as restrained as Buggy's. Bullet made a sound, and he gradually opened his eyes in a coma, and put his hands on his waist naturally. After being kicked twice, his lower back hurts. Touch it, and the pain will come up instantly. He frowned, looked around suspiciously, at first glance, saw Chen Qingtian standing there, someone at the moment, waved and smiled. Saying good morning, Bullet jumped up with a whoosh, wary of Chen Qingtian. "Did you kick me?" Chen Qingtian shook his head. "It's not me, the kicker is someone else." Bullet asked, "Who? Which bastard dared to kick me? Did he live impatiently?" Then he looked around, and at first glance, he locked in on Buggy and Shanks. The one who could kick him was among them, and Bullet seriously suspected that Buggy, the kid, had been looking at him badly and wanted to punch himself for a long time. "Is it you, Red Nose?" It's not polite to say Red Nose, and it doesn't give Buggy any face. Buggy exploded in anger. This man even called himself a Red Nose. Did he not know whether he was dead or alive? Akimbo, glaring at Bullet. "Bullet, what's your name, lousy?" Bullet said disdainfully. "Red Nose, what's the matter? Do you dare to do it?" Of the three, the strongest is Bullet. The size and strength are the best among the three. Buggy and Shanks are currently not Bullet's opponents. If they really want to fight, two people besieging one person may have a chance of winning. They were the only young people on the boat, and they never dealt with each other. "I'm mad at you too. Lousy killed you today." Buggy rolled up his sleeves, and he was going to punch Bullet. After taking 2 steps, he turned around and said, "Shanks, why are you staring blankly? Hurry up and play, didn't you just play happily?" Shanks. Silent. "I really appreciate you, Buggy." Bullet's eyes looked at Shanks. "Two people have a share, very good, you are very good. While they were asleep, they kicked me, they didn't take me seriously. When the two of you F***K together, Lousy still beats you until your mother doesn't even recognize you. It's unreasonable, you two weak chickens dare to beat Lousy with your hands, you are so courageous, come on, Lousy will not educate you today, Lousy is not called Bullet. 3 people, 1 Lousy per person. No humility at all, and I don't know who to learn from. Children can't say such nonsense, it will be annoying." Buggy and Shanks couldn't stand the provocation, and they rushed forward to wrestle with Bullet. The 3 of them wrestled. Chen Qingtian folded his hands and looked at them quietly. "You guys continue, I'll watch the show." After playing for a quarter of an hour, the 3 of them lay on the ground. "My nose is blue and my face is swollen, which makes me feel uncomfortable." Bullet stopped and didn't play hard, otherwise, Buggy and Shanks couldn't beat him. Devil Fruit amplified him too much. Using Devil Fruit's ability, Buggy and Shanks can only be beaten. Bullet doesn't use Devil Fruit's ability, and simply uses strength and skill to fight against the two. The fight between the 3 of them was like a fight between gangsters on the street, using all kinds of tricks. The moves are not afraid of being old, but they are afraid of being unusable. Monkeys stealing peaches, black tigers digging out their hearts, and other tricks are vividly displayed on them. Let go of you two today. HMPH. Next time, I won't be so lucky. Bullet beat the two of them, and he felt uncomfortable, so he had to go back for treatment. He didn't want to see Chen Qingtian. Yesterday's punch was still deeply in his memory. When I think about it, my body starts to ache. Seeing Chen Qingtian, I couldn't help but tremble in my heart. If you can't beat him, you can retreat, as long as you don't see him. Buggy pulled him and wouldn't let him go. Bullet scolded. Buggy, what do you want to do? Haven't you been beaten enough? Believe it or not, Lousy killed you. Let me go, or I'll kill you. Buggy grinned and said, you can't get away, Bullet. Bullet struggled. Buggy let go. He wanted to go, but couldn't lift his feet. He saw Chen Qingtian's smiling eyes, and his lips squirmed, as if saying don't leave. Bullet felt something was wrong and left quickly. But his body was in disarray and he couldn't move around. Shanks said, Bullet, don't dream. You and I have been sold by the captain, sold to the old man for a month. The captain said to let us practice with the old man for a month, and he will come to pick us up after a month. The captain and the others are still there, they haven't left yet. Packing things up now, maybe come back in a month. Bullet didn't want to be with Chen Qingtian, that day would be fatal. Impossible, the captain couldn't have sold me, you must have lied to me. Bullet couldn't believe it. How could the captain throw himself to an old man for exercise? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Buggy mocked. Stop shouting, it's useless. The captain said it himself, he probably knew you wouldn't agree, so he didn't intend to let you know about it. Don't even think about running away, the captain won't take you away, besides, will the old man let you go? This? Bullet watched his buddies pack their things, but none of them paid him any attention. Not to mention taking him away, as if the captain had given the order. Look at Buggy and Shanks, they have accepted the results. Left alone to resist, Bullet felt it was getting dark. Can I not go? Chen Qingtian shook his head. What do you think? You better be sensible, I don't want to hit people with my hands. Come with me, don't think about running away, you can't run away. Be obediently follow the old man to practice for a month. After 1 month, your captain will come to pick you up. The old man doesn't have that much time to accompany you. How far you can grow in a short period of time depends on you. Chen Qingtian added. Your strength is too good, and your foundation is so-so. As for the old man, I will formulate a training plan according to each of you. Don't worry, it's very simple, just bite your teeth and go. The old man advocates democracy and will not be dictatorial. If there is any matter, we all discuss it together. If it cannot be resolved, the old man will decide. Don't be afraid of the old man. The old man is a good man, and he won't beat others. The last sentence is obviously telling the 3 people that if you don't cooperate, I will beat them up. Democracy is democracy, and when it is time to fight, it will not be lenient. Understood. The 3 of Buggy replied in unison. The 3 of them were about to face a disaster. Far away from the ship, away from the captain and the others, the 3 of them were left in despair. No one can save them, go into the forest, and if they cry, no one will hear them. At this moment, they seemed to understand why the old man looked at them with loving eyes. It turned out that he had planned for a long time. Bullet secretly asked Buggy, Buggy, is it true that the captain sold us? He couldn't accept this result in his heart, the captain, how could he sell him? Even if you sell Buggy and Shanks, you don't sell yourself. I am the captain's treasure, and I don't even have time to take care of him, so how could I betray myself? The captain is not that kind of person. Buggy snorted coldly. I don't want to believe it either, but the truth is, the captain said it himself, and Uncle Rayleigh was there at the time. The captain might be confused, but Rayleigh isn't. The deputy captain, Rayleigh, is the calmest person and the most intelligent person. If he promises, he should not be able to fake it. The captain persuaded the mate, Rayleigh, to agree to the matter. Shanks pessimistically said, let's accept reality, Buggy, Bullet, you don't want to run away. If you can't fight, if you run away, you may be beaten violently. You have seen the old man's fist before, and you will not be soft-handed. Accept the reality obediently, why bother to resist? It's only a month, in the blink of an eye. Bullet. That's right, but Shanks, you have to know that you don't know him at all, and you don't know what kind of person he is. Who knows how he trains us? What if it's a violent beating? Speaking of the word violent beating, the other 2 shuddered. Bullet's words didn't seem unreasonable. Will the old man beat them up violently when they meet? Probably not. Shanks took chances. Buggy choked up. How could it be? The old man is not such a person. The 4 of them came to an open place, surrounded by nothing sheltered. Only grass, no trees. it is impossible to run or escape. They waited for the old man's order. The three of them stood at attention. Relax, relax, don't be afraid. Our first class is very simple. You are attacking me. Hook and let them attack themselves. As for me, I won't attack you. You can hit whatever you want, and you can use any method. As long as you hit me, I can allow you to rest for a day. Of course, if you want to learn some tricks, I can teach you too. Chen Qingtian added. Your captain also practiced with me back then. Do you want to be as strong as him? If you want to, you have to work hard. As the saying goes, if a young man doesn't work hard, the old man will be sad. Young lads should work hard. You have good talent, and your foundation is not bad. You have a chance to surpass your captain. In a word, the three of them seem to have been beaten with chicken blood. Are they really asking? May I? They stared at Chen Qingtian with fiery eyes, and every word they said was like a hormone, making their blood boil. The old man is the captain's teacher. Buggy and Shanks know this. But Bullet didn't know. He looked at Chen Qingtian in shock. What you said is true. Do I have to lie to you? They should all know. Chen Qingtian pointed at the two of Buggy. Bullet asked them, and the two told Bullet clearly that the old man was right. These words are said by the captain and the old man. They will not lie. At this moment, Bullet's heart was on fire. Fight, fight, he's going to overtake Roger. In his eyes, the captain is invincible and invincible. If he found hope of defeating the captain, he would not let it go. Be careful, old man, I'm coming. This time, he didn't engage in a sneak attack. To fight head-on, he wanted to see how far the gap between himself and the captain was. Attacking with all his strength, he didn't hold back his hand. Yesterday's punch let Bullet know how powerful Chen Qingtian is. He is not an ordinary old man, but a powerful old man with unfathomable strength. Boom. The punch that should have landed was empty. Was avoided. At the last second, he avoided it. Due to the excessive force of the attack, his body rushed out and fell to the ground. Behind him, Buggy approached cautiously, about to stab Chen Qingtian. His actions fell into Chen Qingtian's eyes. Buggy boy, you want to sneak up on me? Spotted. Buggy's body snapped back into place. He came out as a human being, with his feet still in place. Chen Qingtian reached out and grabbed his little head. Smiling face to face, Buggy, terrified. Shanks. Yes, Buggy is the feint, Shanks is the main attack. He diverted Chen Qingtian's sight, allowing Shanks to attack from the side. Understood. You are too good, Buggy, you can't do it for a second. Shanks' attack came slowly. The cooperation between the two does not require words, a look is enough. He jumped up and hit Chen Qingtian head-on. Reach out and hold his hand. Two people were carried. They struggled, but couldn't get away. Bullet, hurry up you boy. Bullet got up from the ground. He saw Buggy and Shanks being carried, and rushed to save them. The three of them are comrades in arms, and there is only one enemy. Without the duo of Buggy, Bullet will be difficult to deal with Chen Qingtian. He rushed halfway. Body, stop. Buggy and Shanks were pushed to the ground by the old man, and their bodies were smashed deep into the soil. The two of them, stuck in the mud, were miserable. Chen Qingtian let go, patted the dirt on his hands, and said, it's your turn, Bullet. They're both down. Now it's your turn. Don't run, don't be afraid. Grandpa, I will be gentle. Damn it. Bullet turned around and ran. If he couldn't beat him, he had to run. Sorry, Buggy, Shanks, I can't save you. He wanted to walk, but he couldn't lift his feet. The body was fixed in place. The huge pressure made him unable to move. It feels like the pressure of this space is all on him. Every inch of skin is oppressed. Gritting his teeth, he lifted his foot forward with difficulty. Very tired. Very heavy. He took a step forward, very powerful. Chen Qingtian looked at him in surprise. Oh, not bad, you can resist my coercion. Then increase the level and increase the pressure. Bullet's knees fell to his knees, and his body, bent. Supporting the ground with both hands, the whole person knelt down on the ground. His body is still holding on tenaciously. When Buggy and Shanks climbed out, seeing Bullet's misery, they immediately lay down and pretended not to get up. Sorry, Bullet. The two cheered on Bullet, encouraging him to persevere and not to fall. Buggy. I want to go back. Shanks. I also want to go back. Too dangerous. Go on, Bullet, stand up. Are you going to kneel for a day? You're ugly looking like this, Bullet. If you want to surpass Roger, you can't do this. You have to stand up. Even a little pressure can't support it. How can you surpass Roger? Constantly stimulating him, Bullet's inner ferocity was provoked by Chen Qingtian every sentence. What? With a roar, Bullet was like a beast. The body exerted strength suddenly and supported the body with both hands. His waist is straight, his knees are strong, and the strength of the whole body is concentrated in the waist. Standing up slowly, trembling, he was respectable nonetheless. In the process of standing, he spent a stick of incense time. Very long, for him, was a breakthrough. Only when there is pressure can there be motivation. He stood up again. Sweat wets his clothes. Bullet, flushed, stood trembling. Chen Qingtian turned his head and looked at Buggy and Shanks who were lying down. These two brats pretended to be dead. You can't be lazy, you have to work hard to cultivate. Buggy, Shanks, get up and stop pretending. The two remained motionless. They don't want to get up, they don't want to be abused. Look at Bullet, how miserable, standing is a problem. The two of them are weak, and they are still used to lying down. It's nice to lie down, very comfortable. In that case, don't blame me for burying you. Lift your foot, and the next moment you have to land your foot. Chen Qingtian's body moved quickly. Feet, already on top of Buggy's head. At this moment, Buggy's pupils burst, and his body tightened together. Turn around and jump up. Buggy, who was suspended in midair, pointed at Chen Qingtian and cursed, F*K, old man, do you really want to kill Lousy? That action was really going to kill him. If he hadn't watched Chen Qingtian's every move, he might have been buried in the mud and suffocated to death. If you want to kill Lousy, Lousy won't make it easy for you. An angry Buggy flew over to settle accounts with Chen Qingtian. His body flew halfway, fell to the ground. Plop. What the hell? Fly for me. Do not move. His body couldn't move. The torn body slowly gathered together. Chen Qingtian let him return to his body, coercing and pressing down on his body. Buggy, face and dirt contact. For a while, he won't be able to get up. That coercion will gradually increase, he can't adapt, and will only be buried in the soil. Enjoy yourself, Buggy boy. Don't die. Buggy's expression changed dramatically upon hearing this. He will die, the old man is not joking. Let me go. Chen Qingtian ignored his request and looked at Shanks who stood up. Shanks is a bit more manly than Buggy. Stand up and face Chen Qingtian. He smiled and said, give me a face and let them go. If you have any dissatisfaction, just target me alone. I take it all by myself, you let them go. Fruit of face starts. Invalidated. Chen Qingtian is unmoved, your face is worthless to me. Shanks, you're kind. Chen Qingtian praised, coercion, and then descended. Shanks' smile disappeared, and his body bent slightly. What? Incredibly, it didn't fall down. Yes, his strength seems to be stronger than Chen Qingtian expected. Increase coercion. Shanks is still holding on, gritting his teeth. Don't let your knees go down. He could not kneel, would not bring himself to kneel anyway. In that case, I will give you preferential treatment. Increase. Increase. The same pressure as Bullet, Shanks can't hold it. Body, bent. Knees, to the point where they will kneel down at any time. He held on tenaciously. As if competing with Bullet, Chen Qingtian stood in the middle, watching the three people around him supporting him. Bullet seemed to notice the look in Shanks' eyes, and the two started a fierce battle at the same time. No one will fall down first, even if they die, they cannot lose face. Two people, persist. Only Buggy was being beaten. His body gradually sank into the soil. Old man, I was wrong, let me out. He wants to stand like Bullet Shanks, but he can't. The concubine can't do it, what should I do? His small body is not enough to get him up. Buggy tried to support it, but the coercion was too great, and he couldn't face the coercion at all. Persisting until now is the result of his hard work. Go ahead and he might be buried alive. Help me, I'm going to be buried alive. His cries were the only source of sound around him. No one will take care of him, can't take care of him. Shanks and Bullet can't protect themselves, once they open their mouths, let out that breath, they will fall in an instant. Supported, gritted his teeth, not allowing himself to exhale that breath. Shanks, Bullet. Old man, help me. I shouted again, but no one answered me. Buggy is desperate. It seems that I can only rely on myself. Others cannot save him. The old man folded his hands and looked at him quietly. If you continue to shout, I will not save you. Old man, help me, okay. Buggy cried, he was so miserable. It turned out that the exercise was so miserable that he wanted to give up. Red-nosed boy, you are too weak. Among the three, you are the worst. If you continue to be decadent like this, you may become a little pirate. The gap between you and them will become wider and wider. In the future, you may not even be able to bear their burden. By the way, what does Roger like about you? Is it because you are special? Or is it because you think you are funny? Maybe. You're just being funny. There's a clown missing from Roger's boat. Here you come. Chen Qingtian's words hurt people. Every word hurt Buggy's heart. Shanks knew the old man was irritating Buggy, so he didn't speak. Buggy's eyes were red with anger. He was not a burden. He wasn't invited on board because he was funny. Absolutely not. You, nonsense. Buggy boy, is there any nonsense? You prove it to the old man. Chen Qingtian pointed to his eyes. The old man only believes in what the eyes see. The current you are not enough to gain a foothold in the Roger Pirates. If I were the captain, if not, I don't plan to keep you. Shanks alone is enough for the trainee crew. If it's not enough, you can find someone who is talented and better than you, wouldn't it be good? It's not easy to find a strong person, but it's easy to find someone to replace you. Killing people. These words are very hurtful. Buggy, trembling with anger. You. Pointing to Chen Qingtian, he got up with all his strength. Body, stand up slowly. Anger, let him unleash his potential. You're talking nonsense. Lousy fought with you. In a word, he stood up. From then on, all three stood up. Buggy boy, can you come over? Chen Qingtian provoked Buggy. I will stand here and not move. If you can come over, I will beat you up. You come here. Hook, challenge. With that action, the taste of ridicule exploded. Buggy was so angry, one Buddha ascended to heaven, and two Buddhas were born. He wanted to walk over, but his body didn't allow him. He wanted to slap Chen Qingtian in the face, give him a good punch in the face. It turned out that I couldn't even lift my legs. Stare. I can't make it through, but I can kill you with my eyes. If eyes could kill, I don't know how many times I've died, have I, Shanks? That man gradually got used to the coercion. He let out a little breath and didn't fall down. Bullet is the same. It seems that the body has adapted to the pressure, and they are digging the potential of the body a little bit. Worthy of being a monster, he has good potential at a young age. Children, if you don't hit them, how do you know how good they can run? Tisk tisk. You two look so relaxed. Since that's the case, let me add a little more fun to you. It's just coercion, you can increase it at will. As he goes up little by little, the lower Chen Qingtian's smile becomes, the greater his coercion. At the same time, adding pressure to the two, Shanks and Bullet trembled, their knees bent a little bit. The bodies of the two gradually descended. The knee is still holding on. Damn, I can't kneel down first. Lousy didn't even kneel down when he was beaten to death. Get up for Lousy. Stand up. The two looked directly at each other, urging each other to kneel down quickly. They don't have to insist, they can relax. However, they had a tacit understanding with each other and did not kneel down. Whoever kneels down first loses. The sky is big, and the face is the biggest. Shanks can't lose his face. If he loses it, how will he use the fruit of his face in the future? Shanks. Do me a favor by getting down on your knees. Bullet. You do Lousy a face, kneel down first. The two brushed each other's faces and seemed to be paying. Buggy bowed his head obediently. It's better not to stand out. Shoot the first bird. I don't want to die the fastest. The current pressure is just right. There is no need to increase the pressure on yourself. I'd better support it quietly. Lousy is not like the two monsters, one is more monster than the other. Bullet is a monster, and Buggy knew it all along. Unexpectedly, Shanks is also a monster, and he always plays himself. His true face was finally revealed. He is very much like the kind of academic bully who keeps telling the scum around me that I don't study. What's the use of studying? It's better to play and tease you to go out to play, and he secretly works hard behind the scenes, and then shocks everyone. Shanks, the man who backstabs him all the time. Buggy, fooled countless times. Until later, Shanks became one of the 4 emperors, and he was still the original clown. I have known him for so many years, and Shanks has played him for so many years. The clown is really himself. Damn Shanks, you little chick playing me. I had to work hard myself, not to be distanced by him. I am too different from them to continue to be salty fish. All three are working hard. Under the pressure of Chen Qingtian, they persevered slowly and adapted slowly. Chen Qingtian is also practicing, using them to familiarize himself with his coercion, how to go from face to point. Accurately control every point, so that your coercion can be as you like. Once you're in control, it's yours. Strengthen and weaken at any time. He is now familiar with the part. There is still a long way to go. Strength enhancement is one thing, cultivation is another. Don't forget to improve yourself just because you have strength. Live and learn. Meet your hard-working self every day. God rewards hard work. This sentence can't be wrong. Hard-working people will not starve to death. An hour passed. Shanks and Bullet straightened up again, their heads held high in defiance of each other. Buggy has already persisted. He didn't move forward, nor did he expose himself. He's still waiting for Shanks and the others to die, so he can watch the show by the side. When he saw Chen Qingtian's eyes resting on him, he felt a strong sense of foreboding in his heart. What do you want to do? Old man, don't mess around, I'm about to faint. Buggy spoke quickly, he didn't want to add to the pressure. It's just right now, and he can't hold on anymore. Buggy boy, you know that with great power comes great responsibility. You have to learn to take responsibility, not shirk responsibility. Cultivation is a matter for 3 people, not for you alone. Of course, if you don't like this way of cultivation, we can change it. Buggy said in surprise, really? Real? Buggy asked again. I'm the only one special? Chen Qingtian nodded. Yes, you are special. Okay. Let's change to another way of cultivation. This way of cultivation is too tiring. Chen Qingtian wiped his hands. Very good. I have been waiting for you for a long time. You asked for it, not me forcing it. Release the pressure on Buggy, and at that moment, Buggy runs away. Stupid people believe the old man's words, and smart people have already run away. Shanks shook his head. Buggy, you're still too young. Bullet sneered. Hey, why do you want to die? You can still live if you do evil. Self-inflicted. Not live. Buggy, it's purely courting death. Flying to 3 meters, Buggy's body fell to the ground. Boom. Torn apart. On his head, a huge bag bulged. The power of a punch is not light. Boom. Buggy got up. Boom. Fall down. He got up and wanted to go back to Chen Qingtian to settle the score. The back of the head meets the blow. Boom. Body, fell down. Get up, fall down. Repeated dozens of times. It was Shanks and Bullet. Their brows kept loosening, wrinkling, and loosening. They admired Buggy from the bottom of their hearts. He was a real man. At this time, he can still run. He is a real hero. The 2 of them did not have this kind of courage. For the first time, they admired Buggy's courage. The 2 used to look down on Buggy and thought he was stupid, but starting today, Buggy is a real man, a man they can admire. What? It hurts me to death. Don't fight anymore, I was wrong. Woo, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Buggy, who kept apologizing, was beaten to death. He hugged his body to welcome a new round of beatings. More ruthless, more brutal. Buggy, whose body was beaten to pieces. All his devil fruits were knocked out. Poor him, he couldn't breathe. After the beating, Chen Qingtian felt refreshed. Very cool. It's been a long time since it's been so cool. Beating someone can really make you live longer. Buggy, you have quick reflexes and good speed, mainly for resisting beatings. The last compliment, Buggy wanted to cry after hearing it. Really, badly. If there is a chance to do it all over again, he will definitely not choose a new way of cultivation. Why did he want to die? Old man, I was wrong, I'll go back, don't hit me. Holding his head and crying, Buggy didn't want to be beaten, it was too bad. Every punch of the old man's fist hurts, making his scalp numb. Chop fruit was in front of him, it was useless, he could still hit himself by splitting himself. Aim at the target, hit one place every time, and leave the rest alone. Split, 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 after trial and error, Buggy knew he couldn't beat the old man. Fragmentation, in the old man's case, is wastability. Not splitting anymore? I think your fruit is very useful, it is the nemesis fruit of swordsmanship. Chop fruit is not useless, for swordsmen, this fruit is the last thing they want to touch. Slashing has no effect on him, you can't cut him. He can split his body at any time, your slashing is just a battle of wits and courage with the air. Even if it is the attack of the great swordsman Mahawk, Buggy can avoid it, not to mention the attacks of others. His devil fruit is well developed, and its effect will be great. Some people think that chop fruit has a lot to offer. For example, if it is developed to ultimate, can it split the world? Just let the world fall apart. This brainhole alone is enough to make chop fruit a god. Buggy can't do this, his strength doesn't support him to complete the tearing apart of this world. If other people attack, you will avoid it, Buggy boy. Don't be discouraged, you have to work hard to develop the fruit ability. Once you can avoid the old man's attack, those swordsmen who want to hurt you in the future will not be able to do it without a little strength. Buggy's eyes widened. Really? Old man. Buggy heard the word swordsman, and he is the nemesis of swordsmen. Also Shanks' nemesis, Shanks wants to be a swordsman. And myself, it must be the opposite of him. Restraining him is the happiest thing for Buggy. Of course, if you think about it, when they cut you, you are torn apart, and they can't hurt you at all. So far, he's been split a lot. The body can't be split into smaller ones, and if it's even smaller, if he can split into atoms, ahem, it's terrifying, unimaginable. Is it really possible? Buggy thought for a moment, as if it could be done. Since he ate devil fruit, he faced the world pessimistically. What he didn't want to eat, Shanks made him eat. After eating, Buggy fell into self-doubt for a while. I will be a landlubber in the future. Okay, Buggy, trust yourself. Come on, show the old man a split that place. Buggy, Shanks, Bullet. They thought that the old man was going to say something earth-shattering, but unexpectedly, such a sentence came. The two couldn't help it, and sprayed. Their bodies bent accordingly. The huge coercion almost made them kneel down. The two stood up with a suppressed smile, supporting themselves in one breath. But their hearts have already gone crazy from laughing. It turns out that the old man laid the groundwork so much just for this. In other words, can that place really be separated? They also want to take a look, and the two cast a curious look, staring at Buggy. Where the legs are sandwiched, will the little jelly split into smaller pieces, and can they be closed together? After splitting, can it still be used? A series of questions arose in their minds, and they made up a lot of pictures in their brains. Even, can they split when doing anything? Ahem, what a wicked idea. Roll. Excited Buggy was splashed with cold water and was stunned. Shocked. What the hell, he actually asked me to split that place, is this a human request? What do you think of me? I'm Buggy and won't split or show you. I'm telling you, I'm Buggy, I'll never do this in my life. Is it really not possible? We can't discuss it? Chen Qingtian asked tentatively. Buggy shook his head, not even thinking about it. He, the Buggy god tier, also wants to save face. How can you split that place because of your words? What if they can't be combined? Issues related to dignity and future generations cannot be sloppy. It's okay, Buggy boy, you don't have to worry about that problem. Since it's Devil Fruit's ability, you can control it as you like. If you prosper, you don't have to worry. It's hard to say whether you will find a girl who likes you in the future. Maybe you will be single for the rest of your life. These words are even more insulting. Are you still human? Old man. Is this what people say? Single for life, you are too vicious to curse him. Am I ugly, Buggy god tier? To be honest, you're not ugly, you just look special. Shanks. PFFT. Bullet. Puff. The two broke the defense at the same time, holding their last breath, and they were discouraged. At that moment, they fell to their knees. At the same time, they knelt down, lay on the ground, and laughed until they shed tears. Oh, no, I can't help it. It's just that you look special, ha. You're not ugly, you just look special, ha ha. I ha. Buggy is miserable, there is nothing wrong with what the old man said. Ugly and especially are two different things, you're not ugly, Buggy. The two laughed unscrupulously. They couldn't understand the old man's brainhole, and he could burst out such words. It made them forget to fight, and they couldn't help it. Shanks. Bullet, how can you be like this? Buggy pointed at the two of them angrily. Angry, slag jump. He didn't expect his partner to laugh at him too. Don't you think you should stand by my side at this moment and trouble the old man? How can this be reasonable? You just watched me being bullied. The two wiped away tears, looked up and said, Buggy, I'm sorry, we didn't want to. It was so funny, we couldn't help it. Buggy, we'd love to help you too, but we can't get through. The coercion didn't disappear, it was always there, and they couldn't move. Thinking about the past is powerless. They are mud bodhisattvas crossing the river, and they cannot protect themselves. Shanks, Bullet, you've gone too far, Buggy said angrily. Shanks and Bullet stifled a smile. They were serious about it. Don't let your partner be humiliated, they should cheer him up. When we get used to it, Buggy, we will get your revenge soon. Buggy rolled his eyes. Waiting for you to get used to it, I don't know the year of the monkey. Relying on you is better than relying on myself. Humph. It is better to rely on oneself than to rely on others. Buggy wanted to save his face, he was thinking of ways to get revenge on Chen Qingtian. Chen Qingtian touched his chin, leaned closer, and stared directly at Buggy's place. Can it be split, Buggy? He said loosely, well, you can perform one for me, and I will allow you to rest for an hour. To make a concession, Chen Qingtian was mainly out of curiosity, nothing else. 1 hour. Buggy smiled dismissively. What do you think of me? It's only been an hour, and you want me to show you, are you crazy? Selling my dignity for an hour, my Buggy god tier is not so cheap. What do you think I am? Those people who sell themselves outside. Impossible, I told you. What can one do? Take a shit and it's gone. The proud Buggy, recognized by Shanks and Bullet. They agree with Buggy, for an hour, it's too condescending. Even if it is a year, they will not sell themselves for a little time. Buggy, good job. Buggy, come on. The two partners gave encouraging looks. We stand by your side. Rest assured, we will always have your back. Buggy raised his eyebrows and said, see, my partners support me. With them, I, Buggy, will not fall down easily. No wind, no rain, no landslides can change my heart. It's useless for anyone to do what I've decided. Want me to show you jelly, dream? Chen Qingtian glanced at the three of them, and said calmly, 2 hours, plus their right of disposal, this is my bottom line. Treat them whatever you want. You can beat them, scold them, you can even do whatever you want, I won't stop you. As long as you show me a split jelly, how about I let you experience what it's like to be the boss? As soon as these words came out, the faces of Shanks and Bullet suddenly changed. They have become bargaining chips. Shanks quickly said, Buggy, don't believe what he says, we are partners, we can't be fooled by him. He wants to beat us one by one, and beat us, Buggy, wake up. Bullet is also afraid. Buggy has a lot of tricks, just in case. The consequences are unimaginable. In order to prevent that kind of thing from happening, he will persuade Shanks together. That kind of thing must never happen. Buggy boy, you have to hold on, and you can't be fooled by some people with ulterior motives. In order to protect themselves, the two stop Buggy at all costs. Buggy was moved, and he performed for the old man himself, and then he could torture them for 2 hours. This deal can be done. 2 hours, I can do whatever I want. Buggy confirmed again and again. Chen Qingtian said with a smile, yes, you can do whatever you want, even if you like their chrysanthemums, I don't care. Anyway, it's your partner, you can do whatever you want. Whether the taste is heavy or not is up to you. What will be the impact later is also your responsibility. He is just an outsider. Shanks couldn't help clamping his legs, the back of his ass was cold and aching. Subconsciously, he leaned forward a little. Shanks would never allow anyone to touch his back, and neither would Buggy. Nobody can, he doesn't allow it. Buggy, don't be fooled, have you forgotten the days when we ate and played together? That year, we were together on the banks of the Daming River. Ahem, I went to the wrong theater. In those years, we played together, practiced together, and played together. Have you forgotten those joys? Are you going to sever our friendship just for 2 hours? Buggy, I don't believe you're that kind of person. Playing the emotional card, Shanks persuaded Buggy first, the truth was revealed, and those who heard it wept. Not to be outdone, Bullet said, Buggy, you are my good partner, big brother. I have always protected you, have you forgotten too? Remember the last battle, without my big brother, you might have been killed. What about big brother? I don't ask for anything else, just don't touch big brother's chrysanthemum, big brother begs you. I, Bullet, at this moment, humbly begged Buggy Kid. In the past, the red nose that I looked down upon was now the object of my begging. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have slighted you before. Please forgive my arrogance, young and frivolous and ignorant, don't take it to heart. Buggy, look at them, you have today too. Haha, my uncle is indeed the strongest. Open your hands, Buggy, to meet your great self. Uncle Ben, Buggy God tier, the strongest existence. Shanks, Bullet, aren't you guys very cute? Come on, give me a look. I used to chat with you when my uncle asked you, but neither of you was a bird like this uncle. Now you know that you were wrong? I'm telling you, you won't make me happy today, my uncle, The opportunity for revenge has come. How can Buggy let go of this opportunity? I am a Buggy God tier professional. Scare them, intimidate them, and then brutally abuse them. As for myself, paying a little bit of dignity is nothing. That's not the case. Who hasn't been young and frivolous when he was young? Shanks is freaked out. Buggy is crazy, he won't really say yes, will he? Buggy, don't promise. If you do that kind of thing, how will you face the captain and the others in the future? If your request doesn't work, then move out the captain and the others. Shanks didn't want the three of them to be humiliated, and Buggy paid for it alone, so he must make trouble for them. Hold on, you are the breakthrough, you must defend it. Bullet. Buggy, no promise. The more anxious the two were, the happier Buggy was. Chen Qingtian also began to urge. All right, in a word, Buggy. I will give you time to persuade you, you are useless by yourself and have nothing to do with me. My goal is about to be achieved, but I don't want to see you hinder me. The coercion is doubled. Two people lying on the ground. Unable to speak, they stared helplessly at the shy Chen Qingtian. And the nodding Buggy, he, nods. Not for anything else, just to let myself live with more dignity. Anyway, the old man is sure about himself, if he doesn't agree today, there is still a month left. If I can't escape, it doesn't make any difference whether it's earlier or later. Now that you can earn yourself a little privilege, why not do it? Come on, old man, you have to look carefully, you can't be seen by them. Buggy gritted his teeth, He wanted to perform a long-lost technique for Chen Qingtian, split jelly. This scene is destined to mark a point in the history of the pirate Wang Li. An iconic picture is also the moment of enshrining the gods. He revealed his white skin. Little jelly, split in place. Layer after layer, split into little dots. This scene stunned Chen Qingtian. The originally small thing became even smaller after splitting. Splitting and closing are just a matter of an instant. Buggy completed all the actions with a blink of an eye, and when he was about to cover, Chen Qingtian said, "Come on, do it again." Buggy. Silent. F*K, are you a pervert? This kind of thing needs to be watched twice, once is enough. Don't you feel dissatisfied? No, absolutely not. I've already shown it to you once, don't push yourself too far. Buggy guarded that place, and angrily scolded Chen Qingtian, "You've already seen it once, don't even think about it if you want to watch it a second time. Once, enough to make me Buggy God tier disgraced, you want a second time, impossible. It is impossible in this life. Spread the word, how can I be a Buggy God tier in the sea in the future, and I still have to be shameless? You are slapping my Buggy God tier in the face, one slap is not enough, continue to hit the second time, do you think that my Buggy God tier is a soft persimmon that you can handle? I'm telling you, I'm a Buggy God tier, and I'd rather die than surrender. Rather stick to your guns. I've already given you what you want. What do I want? Buggy just wanted Chen Qingtian to fulfill his promise quickly and not to play tricks. I went out to get rich, just to get the right to dispose of the two shanks, and I gave everything for them. But I can't pay by myself, and I don't get what I want. Chen Qingtian's credibility, Buggy is seriously doubted. Chen Qingtian let go of his coercion, and said flickeringly, "Buggy boy, how about showing me one more time? I didn't see it clearly just now, I didn't finish it, you finished it, too fast. As for me, I'm not an unreasonable person. How about you show me one more hour and give you an extra hour? 3 hours, you're definitely worth it. Anyway, watch it once, so what if you watch it again? Once or twice, that's not a thing." Buggy wanted to shake his head, but it was an extra hour, 3 hours. What I paid can be recovered from them, and I earned it. Shanks and Bullet shudder, shit, 3 hours, is he crazy? Buggy actually agreed, they didn't expect Buggy to do such a thing, it's too embarrassing. But they didn't dare to talk nonsense, for fear that Buggy would spread his anger on them, and when the time came, it would be the two of them who would be humiliated. Shanks dissuaded. "Buggy, don't agree, do you want to be humiliated twice?" Bullet said. "One time is enough, Buggy boy, Big Brother can't bear to see you humiliated." What a picture of deep brotherhood, how tender. Two good big brothers comfort Buggy's little brother, don't do stupid things. Listen to Big Brother, don't show him. Buggy snorted coldly. "Humph, Shanks, Bullet, you forced me. I, Buggy God tier don't want to use extreme means against you, but you are too bully. Bullying me weak, saying I have a red nose, and always laughing at my nose. I am timid, you say I am a coward. I am short, and you mock me for being short. And always laughing at my appearance, it's not my fault that I look like this. If I Buggy could choose, I wouldn't choose my current body, but do I have a choice? Everything is predestined and you cannot change yourself, so you can only change your views." Shanks' face changed suddenly in fright. "No, Buggy, listen to me. I care about you, I didn't force you, don't do stupid things. Buggy, listen to me, really, don't do it, I'll be sad. Big Brother, I can't bear to watch you being humiliated, really, really. You don't do stupid things. Big Brother, I watched you being humiliated, and felt as uncomfortable as being pricked by a needle." Bullet said. "Buggy boy, Big Brother and I will protect you in the future. If anyone hits you, taunts you, laughs at you, I will beat him until his mother doesn't know him. Don't worry, I will cover you in the future, Buggy boy, you will be my man from now on. No one dares to bully you, and no one dares to laugh at you." The two scramble to make a commitment, fearful of waiting for Buggy's revenge. He already had 2 hours, and one more hour would be troublesome. Besides, he would torture them if he waited, there was no doubt about it. For their own sake, they are forced to make commitments. Ingratiate yourself with Buggy so he doesn't attack you. Buggy boy, you have to think about it, you don't have much time now, 2 hours, there is not much left after dragging on, so hurry up. Chen Qingtian urged. You can do whatever you want in 3 hours, even if you take off their pants, play their place, and no one said anything to you. Don't you want to play where they are, Buggy boy? I have to say that the temptation of this sentence trumps everything else. Buggy. Looking forward to that picture. Within 3 seconds, he responded immediately. Okay, I'll show you one more time, you have to watch carefully, I won't show you a third time. As the saying goes, there are only 3 things. You don't want to have a third time. Twice is the limit of Buggy's tolerance. Okay, no problem. I definitely won't have a third time. Chen Qingtian folded his hands and smiled. Buggy turned around and gave Chen Qingtian a performance alone. This kind of thing can't be seen by Shanks and Buggy won't let that place of himself show in front of them. Split, coincide. Buggy, who slowed down to double the speed, performed to Chen Qingtian the infinite fantasy called Devil Fruit. There are no trashy devil fruits, only trashy people. His Chop Chop fruit is very effective. After reading it, Chen Qingtian admired it in his heart. Very strong, too strong, invincible and powerful. Buggy must have been exercising a lot, he is a ruthless person. Exercise with his own life, not afraid of pain, not afraid of damage, not afraid of suffering. He tried again and again, and only then did he achieve today's success. Fine, the rest is your time, go ahead, Buggy. 3 hours, enjoy your happy hour. For me, find a place to drink and watch how Buggy treats his buddies. Breach from the inside, Buggy is the first to be breached. For the rest, they have to rely on their own dog to eat dog. What are you going to do? I'm looking forward to it, Buggy boy. Shanks and Bullet's pupils constricted, and they struggled to get up, adapting to the stronger coercion. They want to flee the scene and can't be insulted by the Buggy kid. At this moment, they only have one thought: run quickly, run fast, and don't be caught up by Buggy. Otherwise, only humiliation will be greeted to them. Shanks and Bullet look at each other, telling each other to stop and deal with Buggy. The two had the same idea, the same purpose, and ran forward. Can't run fast, they are oppressed by coercion, unable to move forward. Buggy, approach the Bullet. At this moment, Bullet wanted to cry. Buggy boy, no, big brother Buggy, can you not do anything to me? I didn't bully you. Before, Bullet couldn't be bothered to bully Buggy, so they didn't have the imaginary feud. Buggy grinned and said, ha ha ha, Bullet, you also have today, aren't you usually very flamboyant? Come on, give this uncle a look. Usually when this uncle seeks you, you just ignore him. My uncle hates other people's condescension the most. You are the first person to make me feel humiliated. Bullet shook his head, no, I'm not, I'm that kind of character, don't slander me. My uncle is giving you a chance now, give me one. Buggy pointed at Bullet's forehead and tapped him viciously. I click, don't you hate other people clicking your forehead? This uncle is the main point today, don't stop, what can you do to me? The previous humiliation, at this moment, is all repaid. What I wanted to do in the past, I have done today. After tapping Bullet on the forehead, Buggy walked up behind him and kicked hard. Bullet's body was unsteady, and he fell forward. Making a very strange pose, Buggy, watching his pose, fell silent. After a long time, he kicked his ass again, and Bullet fell down as he thought. Face sticking to the ground, mouth eating dirt. His miserable appearance was worse than when Chen Qingtian beat him up. Being beaten by the strong is something the weak cannot resist. It is acceptable in the heart. If you can't beat yourself, it is normal to be beaten. Can be beaten by the weak, unbearable. Bullet was angry, but there was nothing he could do. Don't dare to get angry, don't dare to pull. Oops, don't be mad at this, Bullet, this isn't you. Buggy, squatting in front of Bullet, taunted him with his head down. Can taunt Bullet, never let it go. Opportunities are rare. After this time, there may be no chances in the future. Come on, show me how angry you are. My uncle is curious, Bullet. What do you look like when you are angry? Raise your head, look at me, and make me angry. Bullets dare not. Letting Buggy lift his head, he wanted to kill Buggy, but he couldn't. That coercion made him unable to move flexibly. Standing up is a problem, and he knows that someone is playing tricks. Shanks watched the scenes of Buggy playing tricks, and his heart trembled. It turns out that angry Buggy is so terrifying. He must be sad inside. In the past, I was hurt a lot. It's not that he didn't say it, but he kept it in his heart. At this moment, he released it. Buggy. Bullet sucks. Miserable Bullet, ravaged. Like a toy, being ruthlessly ravaged and played with. Shanks couldn't be happier because he knew it was coming to him soon. The next one is him. 3 hours, very long. Time flies so slowly. Bullet wanted to cry, but couldn't. Oneself, being teased by others, Ruthless Buggy, like a scumbag, keeps playing with him. She almost stepped on his face and trampled on it viciously. Buggy, very fun to play with. Never been this cool in my life. For the first time in my life, I let out a sigh of relief. Bullet, who was usually tugging, was lying at his feet at this moment. There's nothing more exciting than this. Ha ha ha. Laughing up to the sky, Buggy boy, so excited. The sorrow of life, at this moment, has been released. His sadness, his discomfort, at this moment, half dissipated. Brother Buggy, is it okay? I'm already in such a miserable situation, you won't continue to play with me, will you? Bullet begs for mercy, he won't be hard on Buggy. Shanks, who was watching the play next to him, kept smiling at himself. He is mocking himself, he is belittling himself. This crime cannot be borne by oneself. Shanks also has a share, how can we not show him some color? Shanks always complains to me about you, saying you have no brains, you eat devil fruit, and it's a waste fruit. He said that waste fruit matches waste. It's a perfect match. I don't agree with him very much, but I can't refute it. Brother Buggy, there are many other things that Shanks speaks ill of you behind your back. Everyone treats you pretty well. If it weren't for him, others wouldn't say you have a red nose. Come on, Shanks, take on the storm. For my own sake, I had to make up facts. You cannot be alone. We are blessed to share. Shanks was dumbfounded when he heard this. What, these words are you Bullet saying? Incredibly, Bullet can also listen to 8 trigrams and say 8 trigrams. Slander, pure slander. Buggy, do you believe what he said? Shanks wanted to prove his innocence. He's not that kind of guy, absolutely not. It's all made up by Bullet alone, smart Buggy wouldn't believe it. Buggy nodded, and suddenly realized. No wonder they are laughing at me, so that's the case, Shanks, thanks to my trust in you, I regard you as my closest friend. Is this how you treat me? Backstab me and slander me. You're the one who spreads my bad words, Shanks, you let me down. Shanks shook his head. No, I didn't. Buggy, don't believe what Bullet says. Bullet, he's talking nonsense, he's trying to get you to take revenge on me, and to stir up feelings between us. Buggy, how could I Shanks do something like that? You have to trust me. Sincere feelings, sincere appearance. Shanks gave Bullet a nasty look. Brother, don't mess around. You can eat indiscriminately, but you can't talk indiscriminately. Do you know that you are committing a crime? Talking nonsense about some things can have serious consequences. Can we fight among ourselves? What good will it do you if you slander me so much? Bullet smiled. I'm not talking nonsense, I have witnesses, and the captain heard it that day. If you don't believe me, you can ask the captain, Buggy. Shanks. Silent. You are AF** King Talent. The captain is not here. Where do you ask Buggy to verify? Moreover, for this kind of thing, Buggy will not ask the captain for certification. Bullet caught Buggy's weakness, knowing that he trusted the captain. Okay, Shanks. Okay. Okay. I didn't mean to hit you, you made me. Shanks. I didn't expect you to be the kind of person who went to the captain and said bad things about me. You are my good brother. I, blind, actually know a brother like you. Shanks, you have let me down so much. Buggy, let Bullet go, and head for Shanks. Bullet heaved a sigh of relief, and finally sent the demon away, he was so inhuman. Buggy brother, Shanks speaks ill of you every day. He said he feels disgusted every day he sees you. The reason why we call you brothers and sisters is because we take your blame. The good things belong to him, and the bad things are all your responsibility. You are just his toolman. The toolman used to take the blame. These words are all said to me by Shanks. He still wants me to do this kind of thing together. Who am I? Bullet. How can I do this? It's an inhumane thing. I turned him down, and he'll tell you bad things about me. Brother Buggy, Shanks is so insidious. He is just a 6th child, don't take his word for it. Bullet, I won't lie. Please trust me. Shanks is insane. Shit, Bullet, you're so stupid, so you are this kind of person. Why didn't I notice it usually? It's too bad, I'm going to be calculated by Bullet. You're talking nonsense, Shanks said angrily. I didn't, Shanks denied. I didn't say that, don't slander me. Bullet, don't I know what you're like? You're just trying to drive a wedge between me and Buggy and make Buggy let you go. HMPH, I'm telling you, Bullet, no way, Buggy won't believe your nonsense. Smiling back, right, Buggy. Buggy, standing behind him. Staring at him covetously, those eyes were about to eat him. It's frightening to watch. And Bullet smiled all over his face, the humiliation I have suffered will also be suffered by you. Watching the show is really fun, right? You should try it too. To this end, Bullet will not hesitate to sacrifice his own reputation, but also in exchange for Shanks' suffering. Some things can't be done by yourself, you have to do it together. 3 people advance and retreat together, and no one can be left behind. Buggy was humiliated and he was beaten, how could Shanks be alone? Buggy, you don't really believe what he says, do you? Shanks explained. Bullet is a liar, and his lies can be seen at a glance. Buggy, don't be fooled by villains. I swear, I never said a bad word about you, and if I did, let me lose an arm. I swear on my own arm, Shanks, it's hard work. Really ruthless, too ruthless to myself. Bullet didn't expect Shanks to pull the trigger and come up with a trick. Ruthless man, I praise you. Left hand or right hand? Buggy said suddenly. Cold and heartless. Shanks looked at Buggy with his eyes wide open as if struck by lightning. Unexpected that he would say such a thing. It was clear that Buggy didn't believe him. At that moment, Shanks looked mournful, his eyes lost their color. It turns out that I am so humble in Buggy's heart, even worse than Bullet. This brother of mine is in vain. Life is impermanent, the large intestine wraps the small intestine. No love slightly. After all, it was a wrong payment. Buggy pursued and asked. Right hand or left hand? Shanks, you hesitated, it seems that you really deceived me. Then he showed a sad look. I am so good to you, you actually. No love slightly. The two had a quarrel, and Bullet smiled even better. Be tough. Yes, that's what you want. HMPH, how can you let you deal with me together for a long month? Dispersing you and forming a three-legged situation will make it difficult for everyone. Chen Qingtian looks very cool, this melon is so fun to eat. I didn't expect Bullet to look silly, but he's actually an old cunt. Buggy and Shanks are no match for him. Look at Buggy, swindled around. Interesting, it will be interesting in the future. Unexpectedly the most interesting one is Bullet. All are talents, 3 people, 3 talents. Will Buggy and Shanks turn against each other? Wait and see. In which direction the fate of the two of them will go, we will continue to see. Left hand. Shanks gritted his teeth and held out his left hand, then he stared at Buggy. Now, you're satisfied. Shanks didn't want to swear, but unexpectedly, he was forced to swear. He uttered a poisonous oath, who knows if it will be allowed in the future. Satisfied with Shanks' attitude, Buggy kicks Shanks. A kick that was caught off guard knocked Shanks into a daze. Then, another kick. Like Bullet, he lay on his stomach and ate a mouthful of dirt. Shanks. Why did you still kick me after I swore a damn oath? You agreed to brotherhood, you agreed not to hit me, why did you kick me? Angry? Buggy asked, looking down. Shanks couldn't express his suffering, and wanted to curse, but didn't dare. Buggy, with too much power, dare not provoke him by himself. No, Shanks replied coldly. Shanks wanted to cut Buggy, but he couldn't get up by himself, so he couldn't do it for the time being. Buggy walked behind Shanks, eyes on his ass. Shanks' legs clenched, he said angrily, what do you want, Buggy? No, absolutely not. That place is off limits, you can't touch it. The more Buggy gets excited, the more scared Shanks gets, the happier he gets. Shanks, it's not up to you now, I'm the boss, I'm in charge. You have the right to speak, but you have no right to refuse. Shanks, you said if I touched your ass, would you? He. Buggy rubbed his hands and found a wooden stick. He had a great idea, one that was sure to blow them apart. I have already taken off my pants, if you don't pay a little price, then wouldn't I pay in vain? Compared to the humiliation I Buggy God tier suffered, you just got kicked twice, what is it? Then, he looked at Bullet again. It seems that his chrysanthemum looks better. The chrysanthemum is incomplete, and the ground is injured. Have you been looking forward to it for a long time? Bullet shrank his body, and he asked nervously, what do you want to do, brother Buggy? Brother, don't mess around. You can hit me, kick me, even step on me, but you can't touch that place. Those who come from the restricted area, no one can touch them. Men's last line of defense is also their last bottom line. Can't touch, absolutely not. No one, under any circumstances, can touch it. At the moment, Shanks and Bullet form the defensive line, and they don't fight among themselves. Work together to take down Buggy. Buggy, don't mess around. Don't change your mind. Buggy, that's a man too, you know. You were humiliated by him. You should trouble him, not us. You took revenge on the wrong person. It's not us who hurt you, it's him. If you trouble him, we will help you. Stop messing around, Buggy, we beg you. Don't mess around, the consequences will be serious. You can't be distracted. We are our own people, and our own people don't beat our own people. Be obedient, be good, and let it go. Otherwise, you can kick me more, as long as you don't move there, you can do anything. Buggy smiled and said, are you scared? The two dare not say a word, whoever is not afraid. No man can stand that kind of thing happening unless that guy is pervert. The two of them are normal people, and they will not allow that kind of thing to happen. Are you panicking? Are you afraid? The more frightened the two were, the more excited Buggy was. Explain that you have found their weakness, they are afraid of being bloomed. In this way, cooperation is no longer an infighting. The two knew the consequences of the matter, so they resisted. Shanks, I heard you like that feeling very much. Shanks shakes his head. Bullet, do you think Shanks likes that feeling? You Shanks disagree. What about Bullet? At this moment, Bullet's eyes met Shanks' eyes, and sparks erupted between the two. It seemed to be discussing, it seemed to be threatening, the two of them seemed to have said something for a moment, and it seemed that they hadn't said anything. Bullet. Do you like it? Shanks. What do you think? Bullet. I think you'll like it. Shanks. Shanks. If you like, I can tell Buggy, and he will definitely fulfill your wish. Bullet. No, don't make a fuss, we're going to fight. Shanks. How to resist what the Buggy boy is eyeing must be achieved, unless. Bullet. Unless there's something, you hurry up and don't keep it up. Shanks. Unless you have a treasure map, Buggy boy is not interested in other things, but he likes to dig treasures. 3 hours is enough for him to dig treasures. Bullet. Then I'll make up a treasure map and let him dig for it. We only need to survive for 3 hours and we'll be safe. Bullet. It's just that we can't forge treasure maps right now. Shanks. I have one in my bosom. Bullet. You are awesome, carrying a treasure map with you is just to trick Buggy. I have to say, if Buggy doesn't bloom for you, I really feel sorry for myself. With a close friend like you, Buggy is lucky in life. Everything is planned except for Buggy. After the two of them discussed the countermeasures, they decided to implement them. Wait. Bullet saw that Buggy was about to test his backyard, and he was too deceitful. He hurriedly said, Big brother Buggy, I have a secret to tell you, about Shanks. Buggy's hand paused, and he looked at Bullet suspiciously. Shanks' secret, he knew almost everything. What can Bullet know? He is just a fool, trying to stop my action, I can't believe it. Buggy was about to attack. Bullet turned pale with fright. Brother Buggy, listen to me. I really have a secret to tell you. Buggy still didn't want to stop, and Bullet couldn't keep his hands off, so he hurriedly said, Shanks has a treasure map in his arms. No matter what you say, the Buggy God tier will not be fooled by you. Treasure map. Well, it's just a treasure map, rubbish. Wait, a treasure map? What did Bullet say? Did he say the treasure map? Buggy's eyes widened, excited, agitated, utterly delighted. What did you say? Bullet. The plan worked, Buggy, no hands on him. Fortunately, keep it. Buggy brother, I saw that Shanks hid a treasure map in his arms. It is said to be a big treasure. Bullet specifically stated that it is a big treasure, and there are many treasures in it. Are you interested? Really? Bullet, you're not lying to me, are you? Buggy remained skeptical. If Shanks has a treasure map, he knows. Bullet insisted again and again. Yes, absolutely. It's in his arms. If you don't believe me, go and search. Buggy walked over dubiously. He knelt down and asked Shanks, do you have a treasure map? Shanks. Shanks shook his head. No, Buggy. Come on, there must be. Shanks liked to lie, and Buggy reaches for it. After some groping, sure enough, I found a piece of paper. Take it out, open it, and there are strange lines drawn. At a glance, you can tell that it is the handwriting of a kindergarten graduate, so I didn't see it. Bullet. No one would believe it was a treasure map, would they? No way? Buggy held the treasure map and looked excited. Then, he jumped up, opened his hands, and greeted the wealth. Haha, treasure map, Shanks, you really have hidden the treasure map. You don't want to let Lousy know. You are afraid that Lousy will steal your treasure. Haha, treasure map, I searched for a long time, and finally found you. Where is the wealth? Where is the wealth? Buggy stared at the screen, and the more he looked, the more it looked like where he was. Exactly the same. Is the treasure here? Buggy looked around excitedly. He asked Shanks, is it here? Shanks, look. Could it not be here? Shanks' masterpiece is painted right here, although the painter is so. Helpless, Buggy can understand. Otherwise how can you say they are brothers? No, haha, that's right here, Shanks, you bastard. You actually want to secretly dig for treasure without telling me, the treasure map belongs to Lousy, and the treasure also belongs to Lousy. Excited Buggy, he went to look at the treasure map wholeheartedly, and didn't care about the two of them. In his eyes, nothing is more exciting than treasure. Bullet. That's okay too. What the hell? So easy to cheat, is Buggy that stupid? It was dismissed in 2 or 3 strokes, and a discerning eye would know it was fake, but you believed it to be true. Oh my god, such a Buggy is his partner. Did not see. Excited, Buggy walked up to Bullet and kicked him away. It seems that the treasure is hidden in that place. By the way, it's been a long time. Buggy is carefully watched everywhere. Yes, it is here. He looked for something to dig the dirt, but couldn't find anything suitable. There was only one stick, and the stick was too flat to dig. Find something to rub against. I looked around and couldn't find anything suitable. His eyes fell on Bullet, and Bullet played dead. He didn't want to be tortured. Buggy walked up to him, squatted down, and placed the stick between his thighs. Touch. Bullet glared at Buggy. What are you doing, Buggy? Do you know what you do? Your stick is not in the right place, it touched my lifeblood. Can you let go? Buggy said seriously. Hurry up, transform me, I want to rub the stick. Don't bother me looking for treasure, Bullet. Do you also want to be greedy for my treasure, you say? As if someone touched the bottom line, Buggy suddenly became nervous. The wooden stick in his hand kept piercing through. Below is the lifeblood. Bullet let out a shocking, weeping cry. What? Pain. Severe pain. He yelled once, and Buggy's hand hammered down once. The stick, rubbing against Bullet, rubbing. Buggy is ruthless as a machine, ignoring Bullet's pain and only caring about his stick. After rubbing for 10 minutes, the wooden stick became sharp. He pushed Bullet away and dug up the treasure alone. And Bullet, howling constantly, his life is dying. Buggy, to humiliate him so much, torture him, and... Buggy, you. He was very angry, but could not move. Shanks didn't speak the whole time. You're killing yourself, no wonder me. Can't you just satisfy him? You have to kill yourself. No, it's a disaster. Fortunately, I did not eat devil fruit, fortunately I am smart. The captain is right, eat devil fruit, there will be weakness, there will be a catastrophe. Bullet. Get away from him now. Shanks reminds Bullet, you stay in that place, in case he can't find the treasure, you are the #1 suspect. At that time, your situation will be even worse. Bullet. Silent. Your sister. Why is your treasure map exactly where I am? Is it luck or did you frame me on purpose? Shanks. I don't. Hey, Shanks, do you think he can dig up the treasure? Bullet whispered close to Shanks. The conversation between the two can only be known by themselves, and cannot be heard by Buggy. They didn't want to face a new round of abuse and torture. After 3 hours, only 1 hour had passed, and there were still 2 long hours left. Whether the treasure map can consume the last 2 hours depends on how serious Buggy is. If he digs seriously, he might be able to survive. Shanks whispered. 3 hours is not a matter, the problem is that over there, will he abide by the agreement? Shanks was worried about whether Chen Qingtian would carry out the agreement. He agreed to 3 hours, and it was 3 hours, not even a minute more. What if not? Does he want to see a good show? Or he wants to be a qualified melon eater and let Buggy torture them well? Anyway, on the first day, the 3 of them are thorns, and they will not obey if they don't torture them well. Hearing this, Bullet's face changed suddenly. He suppressed the panic in his heart and said, it shouldn't be? The old man is not so insidious, is he? It looks very kind, no. Shanks sneered. Bullet, don't be naive. You have to know that none of these old guys are easy to get along with, don't they just like to watch movies? The more trouble we make, the happier they are. They wish the 3 of us could kill each other. It's not that Shanks likes to speculate about others with malice, but that many people are full of malice. In the world, many people are evil by nature. From the insidious treatment of them by the old man, it is not difficult to see that he wants to see the 3 of them bite dogs. Bullet choked up, he suppressed his panic, and whispered, no way? He's not as sinister as you said, is he? Insidious, black-bellied, cruel, this old man is not simple. Bullet didn't want to believe that Shanks was trying to drag him into despair. He didn't want to get involved in the matter, and he was still a child at ease. I said, what are you two talking about, can you tell me? A head was placed between the 2 of them. The horrified face startled both of them, and Bullet moved his head quickly. I don't want to get involved with Shanks, they don't know each other well, it's Shanks who speaks ill of you, it has nothing to do with me. For a split second, the relationship was clear, and Shanks had a question mark. Hey, Bullet, can you stop being like this, you're so inhuman. Shanks. Are you talking bad about me? Shanks didn't dare to look into Chen Qingtian's eyes, it was too scary. He was afraid that he would not be able to hold on, so he spoke out. The consequences are too serious to reveal the innermost thoughts. No, no, old man, how could I speak ill of you? Shanks smiled, hiding his panic. Oh. Really? Why don't I look the same? Chen Qingtian looked at Bullet and asked, hey, Bullet boy, tell me, did Shanks speak ill of me? Bullet wanted to shake his head, he couldn't betray his good brother. Chen Qingtian's words rang in his ears, as if it was an imperial decree that he couldn't resist. You have to think about it before you speak, Bullet. I heard everything you said, and I don't like children who lie. Be honest. Children who lie will be beaten. You think about it before you tell me. Chen Qingtian came to Bullet, squatted down, and asked, now, have you thought about how to say it? Can you think about it? To cover Shanks, or sell him. I don't like children who lie, hope you don't mistake yourself. As soon as the words came out, Bullet was terrified. He turned his head stiffly and glanced at Shanks. At that moment, he seemed to know what to say. Shanks kept shaking his head, telling him not to sell himself. They are good brothers, how can they fall apart? Don't be fooled, the old man is scaring you, don't be fooled. Bullet glanced at Shanks again, and said sorry in his heart. I'm sorry, Shanks, it's better to die alone than to die together, and I'll collect the body for you. As the saying goes, a dead fellow Taoist will never die a poor Taoist. You are dead, I live, is the best. Old man, it's not me who speaks ill of you, it's Shanks who speaks ill of you, he says you're sinister and black-bellied, you're an old cunt. I don't want to speak ill of you, Shanks forced me to say that I'm not his brother if I don't speak ill of you. I swear, I never said a word against you, old man. It's all Shanks said, he egged me on. I am innocent, you have to believe me, old man. Such sinister people as Shanks are not my partners. I have no such disgusting companions. In the blink of an eye, Shanks was sold, clean and dry. Shanks shook his head. No, he lied, old man, don't believe him, he made it up. Damn, Bullet sold me. Sure enough, he can't be a partner, because he has no concentration. The traitor, he is Kai Guoguo's traitor. Bullet likes to lie the most. He is talking bad about you. I don't want to be with him. He insists on forcing me. I don't want to. He wants to beat me up. Old man, you have to be aware of the details. A good person must never be wronged, and a bad person must not be let go. Chen Qingtian, as the name says, he is a master of Qingtian. The old man who judges cases like a god will never wrong a good person. He must teach those who speak ill of him a lesson, otherwise, what is his majesty? Looking at the two of them, Chen Qingtian wanted to teach them a lesson. When he was about to settle the case, Buggy next to him dug out a box. Haha, I found the treasure. God really favored me as a Buggy god tier, ha ha ha. Treasure, my treasure, the treasure map is real, haha. The clown Buggy found the treasure, and just under the position pointed by the treasure map, he dug up an old box. The lock is locked, as if to protect the treasure inside. The laughing Buggy was satisfied, he found the treasure. And the three people next to him had question marks all over their heads. Shanks. Bullet. Chen Qingtian. Is it luck, or did Shanks prepare it in advance? Looking at the dirt, it doesn't look like it's ready. On the contrary, it is more of a coincidence. If it is, then Buggy's luck is amazing. Just dig anywhere and you'll find treasure. Destiny child, oh my. Bullet asked Shanks, didn't you say the treasure map was fake? Shanks didn't know either, he was still in a daze. It's fake. I drew the treasure map. How could I not know whether the treasure map is true or not? He was also shocked that he could really dig things out. Bullet asked. Is it possible that it was the box you put? Shanks shook his head. How is it possible, do I look like such a boring person? Bullet took a look and nodded seriously, you are. Not a bore, who would draw a treasure map, just to trick Buggy? Unlikely, the only explanation is Shanks calculated. If so, terrible. What was even more shocking was still behind. Buggy touched the lock, closed the lock for an unknown amount of time, and clicked open. That's right, it's that evil. Turned on, touched it, and the Buggy didn't do anything. He was trying to find a way to open the box, but he didn't expect the box to open by itself. The three people next to them opened their mouths again, watching this scene stupidly. Chen Qingtian. Silent. Shanks. Silent. Bullet. Silent. Who the hell can tell him what happened, why Buggy is so weird? Bullet, who encountered such a thing for the first time, was deeply shocked. I used to know that Buggy is weak and a melon, but I didn't expect that after staying for less than a day, Buggy refreshed his cognition. He seems to understand why the captain and the others took Buggy, your sister, such luck, who wouldn't want one? You can find treasure with just one click, and pirates need this kind of talent. Thugs can be encountered at any time. There may be only one such talent in the whole world. A unique talent that cannot be lost. The lock is open. Inside, a chest of treasures. You read that right, there are real treasures. Glittering treasures, full chests, gold coins, jewelry, Yiming pearls of all kinds. It has everything. Buggy hugs the treasures and kisses them excitedly. Some unlucky treasure hidden here was found by Buggy. Silent. The three of them gasped again. This is beyond luck. Proper fate of the son of destiny, luck heaven defying. Bullet turned to Shanks, did you know he was so heaven defying? Shanks nodded. I've seen it once or twice before, but I didn't take it to heart. Before, he drew a few treasure maps for Buggy, but Shanks didn't go to find them if he found them. Buggy went to find them alone. He didn't share the treasure with himself, Buggy, other things will say, but the treasure, he won't tell anyone. Wealth should not be exposed, Buggy is smart. Are you sure you drew the treasure map? Bullet doubted again. Shanks nodded firmly, yes, he won't remember wrongly. A random treasure map, to be honest, he was more shocked than Bullet when he saw Buggy dig out the box. There is nothing more shocking and incredible than seeing it with your own eyes. He could only describe it as a coincidence. It's unbelievable, Shanks, why don't you draw another one and we'll try again? Bullet still couldn't believe it. After all, this thing is too evil. No one's luck can reach this level, it's too appalling. Tell it. No one will believe it. Chen Qingtian was just shocked, thinking of what Buggy God Tier did, he was a walking fruit of luck. It is better to say that he ate the fruit of luck than he ate the chop fruit. It was really lucky that he was able to pick up a 4 emperors at random. As you can imagine, he can find a way to survive from any danger. Without Buggy, Luffy would have been dead long ago. After all, he's the man who nearly killed Luffy himself, and the one who saved Luffy from the Summit War. How many subordinates has been conquered by a man who sailed the sea relying on luck all the time? Thank you, Shanks. Buggy held the treasure, and he wanted to thank Shanks. Without his treasure map, none of these treasures. The treasure, he didn't intend to share it with Shanks and the two of them. He found it by himself, so why give it to them? Just let them enjoy the rest of the time. Half an hour left, Lousy won't torture you. Are you happy? Are you happy? Don't thank me, this is what I should do. For the sake of the treasure, spare the two of you from dying. Shanks and Bullet were speechless, they breathed a sigh of relief, the treasure is gone. It's nice not to be humiliated, and they're going to enjoy the next half hour. However, the three of them ignored the man beside them. Chen Qingtian hooked Buggy and said, "Hey, Buggy boy, come here." Buggy guarded the treasure with a look of reluctance. "Come here, hurry up, don't force me to do it." Buggy shook his head. "No, this is my treasure, I can't give it to you." Chen Qingtian was all smiles and his eyes were full of cunning. As soon as he smiled, the others felt pressured. That old man, he's going to do something again. Shanks and Bullet get down on the ground, not wanting to remind the man of that. "Buggy, you're screwed." Buggy didn't run, and he didn't go there either. He didn't want to be beaten, so he resolutely resisted. "I'll give you time to count to 3, you'd better come here, otherwise, I'll be angry, and the consequences will be very serious." The threat is coming, Buggy, swallowing hard. He was afraid of being beaten, and he was also afraid of the old man. If you say fight, you will really fight, and you will not show mercy. "Can I give you half? What do you say?" Buggy hesitated. 8-2, you 8, I'm 2, save some for me, after all, I found it. "Beg. Make the last concession. Buggy, don't want to give up your treasure." Chen Qingtian shook his head. Buggy's face was ashen, and he continued to bargain. 9-1, you 9, I 1, this is my final bottom line. If you don't agree, I'd rather be beaten than give it to you. "Okay, Jui." Chen Qingtian agreed, and Buggy breathed a sigh of relief. Taking the box over, Chen Qingtian snatched the box and all the treasures inside. "Box, give back to Buggy." All the treasures disappeared, and there was only an empty box in front of my eyes. "Old man, it's 91 points as agreed, where is my treasure, spit it out for me." Treasure disappeared in front of his face. I don't know what ability the old man used. Buggy searched anxiously and went around Chen Qingtian, but failed to find the treasure. He was angry, and the old man didn't mean anything. "It's 91 points, your share is here." Chen Qingtian pointed to the box, "This is your share. Everything else is mine, and I didn't lie to you." "What?" Buggy was shocked, he even gave me a box, saying it was treasure. There is no reason for this. A scholar can be killed but not humiliated. "You're humiliating me, Buggy God Tier, I'm going to F***k you. I didn't fool you. This box is an antique. It has a high value when it meets someone who collects it. Maybe it's higher than all the treasures. You found the treasure, okay. If I didn't like boxes, I wouldn't want those useless treasures." Buggy. Silent. Shanks. Silent. Bullet. Silent. It was the first time I heard someone talk about the robbery so unfathomably, returning antiques and having high value. Treasures are rubbish in your eyes, and boxes are the most valuable treasures, so why don't you want boxes? Having said so much, I don't want to fool Buggy. Whoever wants that rotten box, return my treasure, bastard, my uncle will fight with you. Buggy waved his fist to settle accounts with Chen Qingtian. His body just flew up and was suppressed by coercion. The body is lying on the ground. Chen Qingtian crossed Buggy, squatted down in front of Bullet, and said with a smile, "Back to our topic just now, you said that Shanks spoke ill of me, can you prove it? Bullet in self-doubt. How do you want me to prove it? This bad old man is very bad, he clearly knows it, but he insists on asking me to prove it, making it clear that he wants me to do something. The first one is the buggy kid, who got the privilege, and he did something that made everyone angry. In one fell swoop, he became the betrayer among the three of them, severely nailed, and the most spineless of them. But Bullet didn't despise him, because he was making the same choice. Whether to resist tenaciously, or to be obedient. Swaying left and right, he has only one answer, either to resist or to obey. Chen Qingtian did not allow him to have a third answer, otherwise, he would be greeted with a violent beating. After thinking about it, I can't find a solution that has the best of both worlds. He understood Buggy's mood at that time, he would die if he didn't do anything, instead of letting himself suffer, it's better to let others suffer instead of him. My good brothers, you are for sale. Have you figured it out? I will allow you to move freely, as long as you can prove it to me, I will give you 2 hours. Chen Qingtian raised 2 fingers and waved them in front of his eyes. I, who treat each other favorably, show mercy and give you 2 hours. What are you going to do with your 2 hours? Do you want to lie down or do it? 2 hours is enough for you to prove everything. Shanks' pupils condense, it's over, Bullet has 2 hours, isn't he going to torture himself? Buggy must have been the first to suffer, not him. Buggy also thought of this, so he hurriedly said, Grandpa, do you think I have a chance? I can also prove it to you. Isn't it a bad word? You leave it to me. I can prove it in 2 hours. Small things, Buggy sure can. Someone wants to take his job, and Bullet is anxious. If Buggy takes it away, he will be tortured again. No, absolutely not, I won't allow this to happen. Bullet was anxious in his heart, he didn't want to suffer that kind of torture again. He can accept the physical pain, but the mental torture is unbearable. Rub again and again, stimulate his heart again and again. A fragile little heart cannot be tortured again. I can attest to that, sir. Bullet held up his hand, he didn't need anyone to replace him. Buggy boy, don't even think about it, I won't give you such a good thing. Feng Shui turns, come to my house today. I will repay the humiliation you gave me just now. No, pay back tenfold, Bullet I'm not a mean person, but I'm a vengeful person. What you did to me, I will do to you. Little Buggy, ridiculously funny. Papa, very good, Bullet, I am optimistic about you, you can move freely now. Chen Qingtian released Bullet's suppression, stepped aside, and gave way to Bullet. Next, it's your turn to act. I will watch your performance well, young man, do well, I am optimistic about you. You have 2 hours, and during this time, you just need to prove to me that Shanks has bad-mouthed me. Take your time, there is still a long time, don't worry. Alright, I'll leave it to you on the spot, you can figure it out. Chen Qingtian withdrew from their battlefield. Next, is the movie directed by Bullet. Large-scale movie live broadcast, 3 underage boys fight. Why did they turn against each other and where is their way out? Can they break through the claws and regain their freedom? Watch their performance. Bullet flexes his muscles, he's been waiting a long time for this moment. He waved his fist and made a set of preparatory movements, thinking he was very handsome. Actually, silly. Only stupid people would do that. Sensing the danger, Shanks immediately said, Bullet, I think you should trouble someone first, I didn't offend you. Whoever offended you just now, who made you humiliated, you should trouble him. Instead of finding trouble with someone who doesn't matter. Shanks, the outsider. Buggy panicked. No, Bullet, I was forced just now, and I don't want to do that either. Do you believe? Bullet grinned. Buggy boy, do you think I will believe it? Buggy cried and said, Brother Bullet, you are my brother, no, you are my father, really, I was really forced. Woo, Brother Bullet, please don't hit me. I was forced by Shanks. He told me that he wanted to deal with you and concentrate his efforts on defeating you. He wanted you to suffer a lot on the first day. I'm 100% unhappy in my heart, but he insisted on doing this, and everything was ordered by him. I was just following his plan, Brother Bullet, I was really wrong. It's time to test your acting skills. Buggy's nose burst into tears. His acting skills are many times better than those little fresh meats. If One Piece has an Oscar winner, he is the one who deserves it. That acting is really awesome. Shanks is dumbfounded. I'll go, Buggy, it has to be you. Sure enough, it was my good partner. In a second, he sold me. Reasons come at will, stories can be made up at any time. Hey, Buggy, don't talk nonsense. When did I let you do that? Shanks' scalp tingled. If he's not the person involved, really believed Buggy's words. So realistic. The acting is impeccable. Bullet looked at Buggy, and Buggy cried, You have to trust me, Bullet. Do you think I can think of a way to humiliate you like that? It makes sense. Buggy's brain is really not good enough. It is impossible to think of that disgusting way of torture. Only Shanks, he is the most likely. Shanks wants to kill Buggy. I'll go. Your kid's acting skills are good, admiration. Buggy, how can you slander me? He is more wrong than Doi. Did not do anything, and took the blame for himself. And they all believed it. Bullet walked towards him, stepping firmly. F*K, he believed Buggy. No, absolutely don't let Bullet do anything to me. Shanks is not afraid of being beaten, he is afraid of losing his ass. For chrysanthemums, for justice, for his fame. Bullet, I didn't do it, I can swear it. Shanks stepped down, vowing to prove his innocence. Buggy also said, I could swear too. It's not just a swearing, who is afraid of whom? The two prove themselves at the same time. Bullet is confused, he looks at Buggy, then at Shanks. Standing in the middle, waiting for the two to swear. Buggy and Shanks threw their hands up and said a bunch of crap, but basically they weren't lying. Both swear, so who lied? Interesting. Very funny. Chen Qingtian watched with gusto, as expected the three of them are interesting together. Fighting, internal strife is the best. 3 people, 9 hearts. No one believes anyone, everyone doubts anyone.